Welcome to another episode of The Real Debaters, everybody. I'm Micheal Petrow, your host and one of the debaters on this show. This week, the podcast is brought to you by the lovely staff down at the Toad in the Hole Pub and Eatery in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Delicious food, amazing local craft beer, domestic and imported beer selection. It's got a whiskey bar attached to it with over 200 different whiskeys to choose from. And it's got a live music venue down in the basement. So if you're looking for a place to dance and try out some new whiskeys and enjoy a great plate of food and some beer, please check out the Toad if you haven't been. And if you have been, you know what I'm talking about. Go back down there, say hello to everybody. Tell them we sent you. Thank you to the Toad. We appreciate it. This week on the show is a threesome. We're down to Mark, Cowell, Martin, Navarro, and myself in the living room this week. Chris had a little bit of a pet emergency, so we hope that worked out for you, Chris. This week the topic is if Arnold Schwarzenegger, if a character acted by Arnold Schwarzenegger was to teach you sex ed, what character would you like that to be and why? I know. Pretty basic conversation, right? A couple things to note. We're going to be adding some new episodes called Real Talk, where we just do a little bit of a fireside conversation episode about some of our favorite films, ideas in film, directors, top 10s, best ofs. We'll be throwing those in starting in the month of October, so we'll be trying to give you as much content as possible, an update on that. And then lastly, we're at the Manitoba Podcast Festival this month. So September 29th at the Park Theater from 12 to 4 p.m. We'll be hanging out there. You can come down, meet some of the guys on the show. If you feel like debating some ideas we've had in the past and ones we'll have for that day, you're more than welcome to come on the show with us and sit down and get behind a mic and express your opinion on film and cinema and movies in any way, shape, or form you can. So again, that's September 29th at the Park Theater from 12 to 4 p.m. Just look for the Real Debaters table. You'll see us there. So yeah, without further ado, where's the button? Where's the button today? Oh, there's the button. Cue the reel. Enjoy the show.
An excitable boy. I think that was a Warren Zevon album. Boy. I think that was a Warren Zevon album. Excitable boy.
Excitable boy. I think that was Aldous Snow.
Aldous Snow.
that was right after African Child. There was Excitable Boy.
His comeback album was Excitable Boy.
After the Greek.
Featuring the single "Stroke the Furry Wall." Right.
And what else? But there was The Clap, remember?
The Clap was such a good song. That was such a great song.
Do you know that you can get that album? Like, he actually did full recordings of those songs. And you can, like, I drove around listening to The Clap for months after I saw that movie. Yeah.
I mean, I've driven around with The Clap for months, but it wasn't different scenario.
Mark, can you pull my cord?
Yes, Michael.
Is that the title of your sex tape?
That's the title of my sex tape.
The title of our sex tape.
This is way too... Yeah.
You got it?
I think so. Hang on. No.
I had a deep discussion about Brooklyn Nine-Nine today with some people.
I love that show.
I loved it when it was coming out. Like, I discovered it years ago when it was airing. And then now a bunch of people have discovered it on Netflix.
Is it just because they picked it up on ABC? ABC picked it up probably because of network and stuff?
Yeah. It was like nobody was watching it when I was watching it. And then suddenly now everybody's into Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I think I started watching it season 2. When season 2 ended, that's when I started, or season 3. I can't remember. But it's so good. Like, I love Terry Crews. How do you not like Terry Crews?
I kind of discovered like Chelsea.
Andre Brower,
Chelsea Peretti.
Chelsea Peretti. Yep.
I like Jolo Truglio.
Yeah.
Like Boyle, he's my favorite character on there.
He's very unique.
He just says the most awkward things. Oh, guys, let's have a good old-fashioned boy party.
And when he's
just like, who says that?
The things he's saying are just so wrong.
They're so they're so sexual, but he doesn't mean it to be sexual at all.
It reminds me of like somebody. Do you watch Archer?
Yeah, I do.
Right? Like are we still doing phrasing?
Space phrasing now for this season.
I couldn't get into it.
It's so good.
I don't know what it is.
Couldn't get into Archer?
I couldn't.
Or Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I have a really hard time getting into comedy, like animated comedy. I'm not suckered in. Like, Family Guy doesn't pull me one way. Simpsons doesn't pull me another. Like, I can appreciate the humor. I can appreciate the writing, but I just don't enjoy watching
the voice.
animation.
The guy that voices Archer is the reason.
Bob's Burgers.
His voice is amazing. I can just listen to him talk about stuff so much.
Wasn't he in Home Movies too? Wasn't he McGurk?
I don't remember.
Do you guys remember Home Movies?
No.
It's like I think it was on Late Night Swim. I hope I have that right.
Adult Swim?
Adult Swim, thank you.
He might be. Like
I knew what you were talking about.
I didn't, clearly. I that's why I asked the room. I'm like, no, I'm not getting that
Late Night
right.
Swim. I thought that was like, was
Late
a
Night
movie.
Swim? I'm like, I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what you do. It's like summer camp.
Yeah.
That's not the TV channel.
I like a nice Late Night Swim.
Anyways, I think he got his start on this TV show called Home Movies, and he played the gym teacher.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
And he was also in Wet Hot Summer Nights. He actually plays, like, he's an actor in it.
Is it Wet Hot American Summer?
Is it Wet Hot American Summer or Wet Hot Summer Nights? Maybe Wet Hot Summer Nights is the sequel to Wet Hot. Maybe these are just pornos that I'm throwing.
I have no idea.
Like, I'm just.
I don't think H. John Benjamin did any of those, but I mean.
But no, he's an actor in the show. It's
Okay.
Netflix. They did the movie.
Yeah.
What is it, Martin? Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah, Wet Hot American Summer.
Okay, so they did the movie, and then Netflix followed it up with a series, and then they did another kind of movie, and all the famous comedians who were in the original come back. And anyways, H. John Benjamin is the camp director in it.
Oh,
and that, because as soon as he talks, that's Bob's
You know who it
Burgers.
is, yeah,
You
Bob's
know
Burgers.
exactly who it is.
yeah. I think the only live thing I've seen him in was Aziz Ansari's Master of None. He was in that show for, I think, season 2, maybe. I think he was in that.
How many seasons does Master of None have? 2?
I think
3
2 or
now?
3. 2 or 3, because the two. Wait, no, the first season. He
Then the
breaks
sec-
up with the girl, or he sleeps with the girl he likes, and then
Yeah.
he goes to Rome in the second season. I think the second season was all about Rome.
Okay, all right.
I can't remember.
That air conditioner in the background's bothering me. Hang on, we can't continue on with this bullshit. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh. You look good today, Mark.
Wait, thank you, Martin.
I like your shirt.
That's a fetching Raiders cap you're wearing.
Thank you. It's an LA Raiders hat. I bought it when they were still the LA Raiders. Or my dad bought it for me when they were still the LA Raiders.
Okay, that's so much better. There's no humming in the background. So let's just get the elephant in the room, or the non-existent elephant in the room, out of the way. We are unfortunately a threesome today. Christopher Stanton was supposed to be here, and I think he's got kitty problems. Does he have a cat, Martin?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got some kitty cat problems, so he texted me and said he wasn't going to make it. And I was like, well, it's going to be a threesome, and what a great show.
Good old-fashioned three-way.
What a great show to have a threesome on.
I feel very uncomfortable in this room because I know who's going to be the middle in this sandwich.
Are you basing that based on physical size
Yes,
between me and Mark?
I cannot overpower you.
Are you going to be the Langanista
A bit of a milk chocolate filled vanilla cookie sandwich?
Yeah, some sort of.
We're not going to have any more creme pies this episode, like last one. I hope.
Let's just dive right in like we normally do, because the water's nice and warm. Martin, what did you watch this week?
I watched. I think it's called The Spy on Netflix.
Oh, Sacha Baron Cohen's new series.
Yeah. So I watched it because I thought it was. I like Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
And
sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just
depends on what he's
doing.
wearing that day.
He's so different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like all his characters are different.
Thing to thing.
Yeah.
I loved Ali G.
Loved Ali
Borat
G.
was nyeh.
Not even naked conference room running could pull you into that movie.
Borat was Borat. It was just silly. But I
Yeah.
liked Ali. My favorite was Ali G. Like
But
that's how I first knew about him.
Yeah, Ali G's great.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring Ali G back.
But
Bruno, I didn't really watch.
I thought I prepared for it because I thought it was a comedy, so I smoked a bunch of weed, and then and I like doing that. I like watching Sacha Baron Cohen movies because he's been in mostly comedies since then. He hasn't really done any serious roles, right?
I believe this. Well, he was supposed to do.
Does he do serious roles?
This was his first serious role that I've seen.
He was in Bohemian Rhapsody.
and Talladega Night. No.
And
Yeah, that was the best. I love that movie.
Ricky Booby.
Ricky Booby.
Sound like a dog with peanut butter in his mouth.
Martin, keep talking. While you keep talking,
But-
I'm going to bring up the explanation of what The Spy is.
Oh, I can do it. I
Okay.
can do it.
No, I have it right here. Hang on. Okay, so this is what Martin thinks is a comedy. In the 1960s, Israeli clerk turned secret agent Eli Cohen goes deep undercover inside Syria on a perilous years-long mission to spy for Mossad. That's so funny.
See,
Oh yeah.
I didn't read that.
I get the comedy.
I didn't read that. All I read was Sacha Baron Cohen's in it. I'm like, this is gonna be fucking funny. So like the whole first episode, I was high and I was like, I'm waiting for my wife. I'm Yang Shuma. I was like waiting for the punchline, and it never came, and it just trapped me. I'm like, oh, this is really bumming me out. I shouldn't have smoked all this weed.
Wow.
But it was good. It's a good series. Like I after the first episode, I'm like, okay, I'll watch the second, then the third. But it's crazy. Like it's based on a true story about this spy.
Accountants, right?
Yeah, he's an accountant. He's a spy, and he spies for the Israeli government. And he's like he's implanted in the Syrian government for like 5 years.
Yeah,
and that's
the
like
Mossad is pretty batshit crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, like he's implanted in there, and I think he even goes as high as becoming. He's asked to become like the defense minister of Syria.
And whoa, that's a big promotion.
So it's it's good. It's like I said, it's not a weed smoking movie. It's really depressing.
No,
and I'm just like, oh man, this sucks.
and like super intense.
Yeah, it was very. Yeah, the first episode was a little bit much for me, but then once like the weed went away, I'm like, okay, now this is cool.
Can you bring your microphone just a little closer to your face?
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's the money shot.
Okay.
I was like,
I didn't want to do it too far because sometimes I get excited and
I know.
I yell.
So you pull your head back,
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
a forward back motion.
I do know
I know
that.
you know that
Yep,
motion.
Yep.
Okay, so would you recommend it to anybody? Like,
Oh yeah,
if you're-
definitely check it out. Like I mean, like the cool thing is like seeing Sacha Baron Cohen in a role that's not like a comedy is pretty interesting, and he's a really good actor. And
He holds his own.
dude gets shredded for this role, like legit.
Kylo Ren shredded.
Like yeah, Kylo Ren shredded. Like he has a good body. Like he's doing like I don't know what these are. What do you call these? Curls?
Bicep curls.
I'm doing the curls motion. Yeah, curls. And like you can see like his arms are just
I was trying to think of something else. I'm like jacking off two dudes at the same time.
skiing. It's called skiing, Mark.
It's called skiing.
It's called downhill skiing.
I like the double jerk off better. Like that. That's yeah.
like his motion is completely jerking off. I was doing like the ski motion, you know?
Do you watch Silicon Valley?
I do. I know exactly where you're going with this too. Okay. So yeah. All right.
The algorithm.
The algorithm.
How many guys you can jerk off in the shortest amount of time. They're like, you have to have them dick to dick and then be.
Yeah, I remember that. That was such a funny
Fuck,
conversation.
that's such a great, like, there's only way we're going to win is if we jerk off every guy in the room simultaneously. Well, how are we going to do that? Well, if you take every guy and put their dick to dick and do double stroke back and
And we're
forth.
like, and then we have to factor in height differentials.
Like, they just took all the fun out of whacking it and just turned it into Y equals MX
That was funny.
plus cum, I guess.
That's a programmer's logic right there. Just
Apparently, when they, like, I heard that on the Dak Shepard podcast when he was on there, right, talking about it. I think they talked about that, and they said that all of the math, like during that, was actually legit.
oh my god.
So in the background, they have like a whiteboard, and like the math works if you actually sit there and work through it.
I would imagine so because there'd probably be some like some people who are like probably intellectuals who watch that show, like programmers, and be like, okay, that math is definitely wrong, but they'll call it out. You know what I mean?
For
So
sure.
You might as well do it right. You might as well do it right.
There is a company online that when you're writing like an Interstellar or 2000, well, not 2001 Space Odyssey because I wasn't around then, but like if you're writing a sci-fi movie or a movie that needs accurate representation of the industry that it's in, there's a website you can go to and you can submit what you're trying to accomplish.
I was gonna say neildegrassendice.com.
Well, yeah, but like Rhodes scholars and their important people and professors in their field who will be like, okay, if you were to do this, this is what you need, and then they go, all right, write it in the script. So
Nobody ever does that for any hacking movies or computer shit.
no,
No.
or like Breaking Bad, like they made sure that the full chemical makeup was not
Yeah.
listed in the show, right?
But of course, you can find that online.
Oh
Anywhere.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, just you could probably YouTube something about it.
oh yeah,
How to make meth.
how to do it yourself meth.
You could just go down the street and ask somebody. I'm sure.
So completely off topic.
Yeah,
We're here
yeah.
in Winnipeg. A friend of mine on social media the other day she's got an office building downtown. It kind of overlooks the library.
Yeah,
Back of Library Park, there's giant sculpture, right? It's the
Okay.
sculpture that has the water flowing in it.
Yeah.
and it's got-
the dark stuff. It's the
right,
good
and it's
colors.
got steam rising off of it and stuff like that.
looks like a beaker.
Well, so this is my point. They're saying, oh, yeah, it's really pretty. It's really, lots of smoke today and in the light because it was a dark, dingy day.
Yeah.
And there's lots of steam coming off of it and everything else because it was cool. And it's really cool. I'm like, yeah, great job, Winnipeg. I mean, we have a giant Erlenmeyer flask cooking meth in the middle of the park in downtown. What better representation? They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look at it. And then I post a picture of a perfect little Erlenmeyer flask boiling white fluid. They're like, oh my God. And so many people didn't realize that the thing's a giant chem lab in the back of
I'm gonna
the library.
now when I
No,
talk about that, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it when I see it.
I've been thinking.
Oh, you can't unsee it when you see it.
No,
Yeah,
When you see it, you can't unsee it.
it's
You see?
it's gonna be burned in my
You
memory. You see?
You know what I'm talking about, you
Anyways,
Shane?
just something
no.
that happened.
No, I appreciate you bringing that up because I've thought that for a very long time. Like, why is there some sort of University of Manitoba lab around here that we're unaware of, and they decided to erect this? Really, it's a cool statue.
I just assumed everybody knew that
That
it was what it was.
no,
I never just thought about it. I was like, it looks like a harp kind of.
There,
shape,
you could think
right?
that too, yeah, or an onion,
Yeah,
per se.
something.
Lots
you know?
of things, anything.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
You could think that if you wanted to be wrong.
All right, so yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's for sure one.
100%
Yeah,
what it is.
now it is. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
And then, so yeah, I'm going to show it to all the people at home.
I'll post it.
Just tell them to add you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Post it on Instagram. Be like, hey, debaters, this is what I was talking about.
I'll post it on Instagram. Actually, yeah, I'll totally post it on Instagram after the episode.
And then, you guys can't see it because it's too small, but then I posted this little picture. It's like a perfect little flask with the blue the exact same thing. And I'm like, how do you not see that? Or maybe you don't know what an Erlenmeyer flask is? Maybe I'm just a nerd, science nerd from school.
I'm gonna pick one from each column. That would be you're a little nerdy.
A little from column A.
I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah.
Like I knew a flask. I just didn't know there was an Erlenmeyer flask. I
That's
just
the
knew
only
flask.
flask
How
I
did you
remember.
not know that was an Erlenmeyer
Yeah.
flask?
I
Jesus.
slept at that.
I'm-
Slept during that class.
Okay, so how many Borat jokes would you give The Spy out of 10?
4 of my wife jokes. I think.
Four of my wife.
Yeah, 4 of my wife.
Okay. All right. So is that a good
Out of
thing?
5, out of 5.
We're gonna go. Okay, you want to go to 5? All right. We'll bring the
Should
scale
he
down.
keep doing serious roles?
Yeah, I think it's cool to see him in a serious role. I mean, I like seeing him in comedies, and I always enjoy his movies. But I mean, I also enjoyed this one.
I actually do like really serious actors who do like a serious role all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Like,
hoping this opens up a lot.
What's his name? Oh God, why can I not think of his name? Mark.
Robin
Oh,
Williams.
Mark.
Robin Williams when
Yeah.
he did 1 Hour Photo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it was like he's super goofy comedy, and then suddenly does this like super creepy, and he seems more creepy because you look at him like a.
I completely
A funny
agree with
man,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
So it's actually the contrast is nice.
Well, it's good to like people like they don't get pigeonholed, or you know what I mean. They don't get typecast into that one role, which is cool. So I mean, I like seeing like this transformation of him, seeing him from a different light, I guess.
Speaking of pigeonholed, Sean Bean's turning down roles because everyone's asking him to die. I read an article about that this week. Like he's actually just getting pitched, hey, so you're in it for 20 minutes, and then guess what? You lose your head. Did you see that coming, Sean Bean? And yeah, so he's now now he's been pigeonholed as the
Death guy?
the dead guy, the great father who dies, basically. Like that's his. I guess that's his. That's how he's going to leave Hollywood. Just credited dead guy, dead guy, dead guy,
Dead guy number 1.
dead guy number 1, dead guy number 2 on IMDb. Marcus,
It's hard to think of a movie that he lived in.
I don't. Okay, so he didn't live in James Bond. He didn't live. What was the one he did with Christian Bale? The future one where all knowledge and all art is completely outlawed. Equilibrium. He died in that one. He died in Game of Thrones. Died in Lord of the Rings. Died can we?
What's that De Niro movie? The bank robbery movie that he dies in that too.
Ronin.
Ronin. He dies in
Wow,
Ronin.
that's a throw. Yeah,
Right?
that has one of the best car chases.
Yeah.
I
Southern France one.
the Southern France one, exactly. Yeah, he does, and like in Ronin, he's a real big bitch. Like he acts like he's a super
A tough guy, but then he like basically says,
Yeah.
I'm inexperienced, and Ronin is the I
think he tries to bullshit his way through being.
he dies.
either
He dies
MI6
because of it.
or-
He dies because of it.
He totally dies because of it. So yeah, Sean Bean literally just dies.
in every movie.
Yeah, he kills it.
Yeah, he
Or-
kills.
or they
He
kill
kills
it.
the role, and they kill him.
He kills it. No, they kill him.
Mark,
Yes,
what'd you watch this?
what,
Hello there.
sir. Yes, sir.
What'd you watch this week?
What did I watch this week? I actually 2 different things spurred me on to watch what I watched this week. Number one was our discussion on kaiju monsters
Godzilla.
like Rampage.
Yes.
And it just was a fluke. I'm flipping through the TV channels, and sure enough, the 2014 Godzilla was on.
Delicious.
So yeah, I got into that, and because I had spent so much time, like we had talking about giant monster movies and kaiju movies and all those kind of things. I'm like, I really need to watch this and watch it from a cinematography angle, like how they show scale with Godzilla and things like that. So it was pretty cool. It was, I mean, the story's Godzilla-esque, right?
Yeah.
He's laying dormant in the middle of the ocean, and then the Japanese have known about him for years, and they just didn't do anything, and then he multiplies.
I do like that he is essentially an iguana. Like that, the whole opening credits to that movie is you learning that the atomic bomb testing and
yes, they
Bikini Alto or Bikini whatever, the islands where they did the bomb testing. Go on.
Yeah, right. And they were saying it wasn't bomb testing; they were actually trying to kill him. And then he just he fed off of the energy from the radioactive bombs, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then what does MUTO stand for? It was like massive unidentified terrestrial object.
Yes,
is what MUTO stands for. And so this thing, it was like living off of the energy plant, and they didn't mess with it. And so I didn't get super into it in a nerdy way, but I'm it was casually watching, and I'm looking for the how they show size and things like that. And I'm I was really impressed with the monster himself, but then I'm kind of is he a good? Because I kind of think is he kind of a good guy?
MUTO?
No,
Godzilla.
Because it's there's a kind of the bad guy. Godzilla's not good, but he's kind of good. He's sort of an anti-hero in that movie, especially, and in a lot of the big monster movies where he fights. I haven't seen the King of Monsters yet, but MUTO's battling, and it's Godzilla is awoken. Nobody that I know at the parts of the movie that I saw,
Godzilla gets woke.
They did. Yeah, nobody went and got Godzilla. He just knew that he was needed, and he kind of fucking.
They explain it in the sequel.
They do explain it in the sequel that there is a calling to each other because. Simply put, they're each other's challenge, right? They're each other's equals, essentially.
For food
and survival and dominance and everything that is about them. Because think Godzilla's even if he is operating on the brain the size of a pea, he's still going, well, these people are smaller than me. There's relevance there, I think. So they're trying to show that. He's asserting his dominance. This is getting real meta for a fucking lizard, but he's trying to assert his dominance with someone of equal size that shows a challenge.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. But then at the same time, I'm well, he's kind of fighting MUTO, but MUTO keeps fucking with the humans more than Godzilla does. It's the humans are good collateral damage for Godzilla. It's they're just in the way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to walk through the building kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas the MUTO were kind of they wanted to damage shit, and they were going after people and stuff like that. So it was kind of, kind of the anti-hero there. You cheering for Godzilla, right?
Definitely, yeah.
And even when he was kind of coming in, he's sort of goes underneath the ships rather than
just
tearing them apart.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of how are they portraying him? As
But if you had an iguana of normal size, that's to scale, Martin. Just so you know.
No, the normal size is normal size. Normal size is normal size. To scale.
If you had an iguana to scale, you mean a human size?
Yeah. But my definition of scale was right, Mike. You used it wrong, and I was like, "What? You used to scale wrong." I had to look it up. I'm like, "Did Mike just make me not remember how to use that term correctly?"
Was I?
No, if you scaled him up to the size of the other one.
No, I was saying that's what I said. I want to scale him up to the size of your monster.
No, you didn't. You said, "Is everybody to scale?"
No, I never said to scale. Means I never said to scale.
Okay,
Mike
to
said to scale
and scaled up are different.
Yeah, no, I never said to scale. Mike said to scale.
Something was lost in
all I said
something was lost in translation.
All I said was, are we gonna all be the same size, or are we gonna be our original sizes? And Mike said all sizes are to scale.
I apologize for poking Godzilla in that.
Oh, so Mike said all sizes at a scale, but then you misinterpreted what he had said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow it's my fault, but I'm fine with how it
works. It's Mike's fault. It's Mike's fault.
All right. And then the other movie I finally watched It, the first It movie, which I wasn't I knew who Pennywise was, and we talked about the powerful being that you would be, right? The creature. What was that? What are?
It's like the alien. It's an alien.
It's just an alien.
But our podcast, what we were discussing, like in the Rampage thing too, it came from that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, I kind of want to learn more about this whole It thing. And Chrissy really been harassing me to watch it because she's a huge Stephen King fan.
Watch it.
Huge Stephen King fan, books, and then so she's read the books a couple times. We want to go see the new It. That's kind of how I watched like Dr. Sleep.
How did she like it in comparison to the book?
How did she like it?
Yeah.
She thought it was really good because the last one we did this for, she read The Shining, loved The Shining in anticipation of Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
And then we watched The Shining, which I hadn't watched through to through, and it sucked ass, in my opinion. Yeah.
Oh, so you're just like...
I don't like Nicholson. Like, I agree with Stephen King.
Stephen King hated it,
Yeah,
too.
he hated it. It's a shiny Cadillac with no motor.
Oh.
It's... Like Stephen King said, he absolutely hated the movie interpretation of his novel.
What was missed? Because
I think I just didn't care about the characters enough. In the book, they really develop his character so that when his descent into an insanity, you actually care about it and you see him sane first, but you don't. They don't establish him as a normal.
It's not enough time to do that though in a movie,
don't.
right? Unless it's a series,
Okay.
like a TV series. Like I think someone was suggesting that, like they do a Shining TV series where eventually you'll see more of his insanity within each episode, like a 10 episode.
And you
series,
just
right?
don't get that enough, and you also don't get the sort of the connection. She was saying, because I haven't read the book, but hearing from her, the connection between the old guy
And
that
Danny?
also has The Shining
And Danny.
Yeah. And the boy. And then in the novel, they form a much stronger bond, right? And so if you read the novel, you know what happens, but it's the boy actually is kind of calling out to him to come to the hotel, and you don't really get the sense of that in the movie. He just kind of starts going that way.
Okay, so the like most translation novella to big screen, you speed up and you lose things, right?
Yeah.
So, but it just seems, because I'm a huge fan of the movie and I haven't read the book. I've read a lot of his other books before his books got way too fucking big, and I just never. I don't think I want to read The Shining now because I don't want to. If you're telling me that there's way more character development, I feel that I would just see it and then.
I'm a big fan of if there's going to be a big change in something, like if somebody's going crazy and I need to care about, and I felt the same way at the beginning of Breaking Bad. I felt they introduced Walter White's sickness before I gave a shit about him, right? So I'm like, well, I don't care about him that he has cancer. Like I don't care about him without cancer. So he's just a guy with cancer. But if they established him like, oh, I like this guy, like he does some things, and then he gets sick, and then he's more of a hero, sort of an anti-hero. I felt that in that movie. They didn't really establish him enough for me to care.
So question, you didn't, I'm guessing you didn't like the 30-minute Simpsons episode of The Shining, which I love, by the way. I didn't
see it.
That
Thank
is a
God.
really good one.
But anyways, it was good. And Chrissy liked it. She's like, she was the whole one. She didn't really tell me too much about it except scene by scene. And the scene at the end where they're battling Pennywise kind of down in the well. And then she's like, oh, she just kisses him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, in the novel, there's like a giant teenage orgy. I'm like, what?
Okay.
Do you know this?
No, I did not know. That's
when
why.
the novel of It, when they're down there and they have to beat Pennywise, she says, well, the only way that we can beat him is by us joining and as one. And she has sex with every one of them in order to join their spirits and their minds to beat Pennywise and not be scared of him.
I feel a hug would have sufficed.
Yeah. No, like she actually fucks all of them. Takes all of their virginity, and that's how they form this crazy bond that beats Pennywise. Beats It at that time.
I wonder, like,
that wouldn't have translated well to the screen.
No, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
No,
that's, you know what that is? That's cocaine and cigarettes.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Well, that's his writing process, and it's a mind that develops crazy
fucked up.
things.
And then sure enough, I go read articles that like, oh, I guess there's no child orgy scene.
yeah, I guess that got left in the cutting room floor.
I mean, it was bizarre.
I bet
enough.
R. Kelly was hating that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, what the fuck?
Can't wait for the It. I mean, them dividing the book into two movies, because in the book they bounce back and forth between the two movies. So it's like childhood, adult, child. So you see the kids as adults in the book a little bit because it's bouncing back and forth.
Okay, so it's not.
So it's not as bad, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know them as adults already. Like we haven't seen them as adults yet, not until the second movie. So
like the
still kind of bad if you think about it. Like,
it's still bad.
That.
It's still some fucked up shit.
Yeah,
that
the only way we can defeat him as
Steve
teenagers
got into
is
there.
to fuck.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why do you just want to bang all these dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah. The version of Clockwork Orange from
Sorry, I'm just laughing at that. The dudes are like, this is the best day ever. Like, can this clown come and fuck us up more often? Because this is going to be the best high school experience ever. Like, what's going on?
You're the one that suggested it. Okay.
Let me let that settle for a second here. I
Right? She
feel
has
that
all I
the
wanted power. It's her choice.
Right?
You know,
Okay. So I'm trying to reimagine it now where they're like shit scared and then all of a sudden they all magically get hard-ons. Like how
Right?
like, that is
It's
not
a fear boner. It's called a fear boner. You never heard about that?
I've never heard of
And what I'm wondering is how they're doing this. Like when they're in the well and they're battling him, he keeps trying to lure them off into different rooms, right? Like to separate them.
Yeah.
And then they come together and I'm like, do they just like take like a timeout and just quickly does a round for the boys? And then
All right, boys.
anyways, it was kind of bizarre. I was taken aback, but I like the movie. I don't like horror movies normally. I'm looking forward to seeing the second part.
Awesome.
Anyways, that was my.
That was-
I went
that
from
was a
not
lot.
watching anything. Yeah.
So I have a question. Out of 5, how many weird childlike boners do you give the movie?
I give it a solid 4
Out of 5.
prepubescent boners out of 5.
That'll come into play later.
Yeah.
Disturbing.
Maybe that's in the deleted scenes for the sequel. Maybe they're like, maybe they realize they couldn't get it in with a bunch of kids, right? Because they're clearly not of age, but they'll wrap that into.
Maybe they'll have like an adult orgy scene.
That's what
in
I'm
order
saying.
to
Yeah,
beat 'em.
like they'll Bill Hader and
Jessica
Yeah,
Chastain.
here
Chastain.
it's doing well. Like
It's-
it's
yeah,
killing
it's-
at the box office right now. So I'm gonna go see it.
Great. I'm glad you did see it because it's a classic.
I was gonna say I'm catching up on all the kind of classic stuff.
Yeah.
that I've missed out.
Yeah, you know what? I've been doing that lately too. I started watching Vertigo.
Oh, wow. Vertigo.
See, I have watched Vertigo.
Yeah, see, I never did, and I fucking love Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, totally, yes. You know,
How do you not like Jimmy Stewart?
he's just
really?
everybody's favorite man. You know, and that's my Sean Connery and Jimmy Stewart.
That's
kind
Sean
of
Connery
buddy.
doing Jimmy
That's
Stewart.
Sean Connery doing
Okay,
Jimmy
okay.
Stewart. Martin's like, don't do anything.
Yeah.
I like in like every Netflix movie you watch, you kind of start it and then you're like, it's bedtime, right? And I'll come back to it. But I forgot how much I love that era of cinema. Like it's cinematic, like just the cinematography that these guys were working with such basic cameras and such vivid colors come through. And like the long drawn out scenes, like the Quentin Tarantino style scene of conversation happening and building and building and building. I mean, he can't act scared for shit. Like when he's hanging on the side of the roof in the intro.
I don't remember all the scenes.
So
but
like, he's chasing a guy, and he's a cop, and the guy jumps over from a building, which is clearly like scaffolding and like a moving, like a Spider-Man TV show moving background.
oh yes.
And so he jumps and he hangs onto the side and he looks down and then he gets all fainty, and that's when you find out that Jimmy's got vertigo. But like when he looks down, it's like go back and learn how to be scared, Jimmy. Like you're failing.
So are you going to be down for some other Hitchcock stuff or?
I'm down to get back in. Like my favorite not old school, but like favorite movie from the 60s and the 70s was Blue Hawaii, actually, with Elvis. My mom had that. Like, do you remember like the old VHS, like thick,
Like the Disney cases.
the Disney cases? Yeah,
Yeah.
like everything came in that. And Gone with the Wind is another one. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
A lot of hitting in that movie.
Yeah, well, that's not why I like it, but like
Frankly, my dear, I don't give it. Oh, no, is that the same one? Yeah.
that's the same one. Yeah. The 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston. I love that one. Like just like Cleopatra, like those big block.
Ben-Hur?
Ben-Hur was great.
Yeah,
With Heston,
yeah,
Ben-Hur.
I mean, you can spot the great attempt
Spartacus?
at
The
using
original
yep,
Spartacus?
yeah. Just their use of practical effects at the time
And they did so much more with so much less.
That's what I'm getting at. Like I caught a thing on the internets about the speeder scenes in Star Wars: A New Hope and how they just had it on wheels and a car and a motor. That's what a car is. And they put a mirror on
The bottom?
on the bottom on the side that they were shooting on, so they just got a reflection, which created the illusion of it floating. And that's all it is, because that's all they had, right? So you've got these maverick filmmakers of the time who are making shit out of nothing and, trying to create an aesthetic that, you're not like, that's bullshit. And they're doing fucking at it.
A pretty good job of it.
Yeah. In comparison to what, we have today to enjoy. This was very Maverick.
You really have to appreciate practical effects with all of the CGI.
You do. And I mean, you can see that's the thing about CGI is you can see bad CGI, and then when you don't know it's CGI and it is, there's your difference, right? Yeah. Like it's not, well, it's kind of good. Like if it doesn't blend with the scene, if it clearly looks like it was Photoshop copy pasted in like that to me, like Sharknado is the perfect explanation of like bad CGI.
Sharknado.
Right. It's great to watch. It's cheesy and shit. But okay, so what else? So I watched Vertigo this week, and we started watching On Becoming a God in Central Florida with Kirsten Dunst.
Is that like what show is that?
It's on Showtime.
Okay.
It's we don't know. I don't know if it's a true story yet. I really haven't bothered to do too much digging, but it's about she's a Central Florida mom with a new baby, and her husband is it's Alexander Skarsgård, who's a dumbass loser who believes in a pyramid marketing scheme and sells Amway-like products. And he dies in a tragic alligator accident, and she rises through the ranks of the bullshit pyramid marketing scheme and like tells everybody what the fuck is up. She's going to be taking over from now. She's going to be changing how the pyramid marketing scheme pays out, and it's great. It's Kirsten Dunst at her best.
Cool.
And
I haven't seen anything in a while.
You know what? Yeah, you haven't, and I don't know why, but it was funny because we were talking. Like Shauna's friend Kelly told us about the show, so then we were all in the room that night. And we're like, yeah, like she is super underrated. Like she was MJ for 3 fucking movies. Like Suicide Girls is an unbelievable fucking movie. She was a child actress in Interview with a Vampire, Jumanji. And
she was so good at Interview with the Vampire. That's like one of my I love that movie.
Like she's been around forever.
That's a Tom Cruise movie.
Yep. it's a Tom Cruise. It's a good.
My feelings about Tom Cruise.
Have you seen the Interview with the Vampire though? Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, then you got to watch that one. That's like it'll pleasantly surprise you.
I also haven't eaten dog shit.
Well, you know, if you put a little chocolate.
But
on
I know I shouldn't.
Some things are intrinsically true. And then I watched Vice actually this afternoon.
With Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Oh, how was it?
Scathing.
I didn't like it as much as the first one, The Big Short.
The Big Short is.
But I think
the finance. Oh, okay, you're talking Adam McKay though.
Yeah,
right?
the movies. Yeah.
Right,
but I think the best part was George Bush. Sam Rockwell as George Bush was the best part about that.
Oh yeah, everybody plays their part amazingly, but it is a hate piece. It's hate porn.
Oh yeah,
and rightly so. I mean, you do find out that this guy was a drunk piece of shit who was causing fights and just not giving a damn about humanity, and then rose through the ranks of the Republican Party.
Be like
youngest chief of staff ever, youngest secretary of defense ever. He's been 6th through 8th from the president for 10 years before he was vice president. When he became vice president, he made damn sure that the executive branch and the legislative branch did not know what they were doing. Basically, when people say that Bush was a puppet, and you want to get all conspiracy theory, he wasn't so much a puppet in that regard as he was Dick Cheney's puppets.
Yeah.
Like Dick Cheney had his hand up his ass.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like he was Guantanamo. He was big search, big data, big tech.
That was all Cheney.
That's all Cheney. That was all Cheney and Rumsfeld are both very much a part of the Edward Snowden big spying like the Patriot Act stuff. That's Cheney.
They don't call Rumsfeld the architect for no reason.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Between the three of them, they were like, well, I mean, Bush was just like, yeah, sure, no matter what, just tell me what to do, and I'll get out there. And I'm a salesman. I'll sell this country to these people. And then Cheney would just sit back there with his gritted teeth. And like the worst part of the movie is when you see him. Like he always made a rule that his daughter's sexual orientation was where the concrete line was. Said, I will get involved in anything you want me to get involved with, George, but when you need to go out and push the no same-sex marriage line, I'm not there with you. And his other daughter didn't agree with her sister's choices. And as it got to the point, throughout his career, he got less and less protective of that to the point where he got nominated for vice president. And then it was like, yep, feel free to attack my daughter. Just so that he could get into the White House.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And sold his daughter out.
Hard. Super hard. And I mean, this is all public knowledge. I'm not ruining the movie because it's a biopic like Wikipedia, and you'll get it in 10 minutes. But
Is it a biopic or a biopic?
I think we've had that conversation.
We
before
have.
here. I still don't know. Is it to scale? I don't know.
How big is that?
What's the one that? What's your the
Avant-garde?
Avant-garde, yeah. It is very avant-garde.
It's
I'll
not
give
to
you that.
scale, but it's avant-garde.
Do you know that every time I hear avant-garde now, I take a minute and I'm like, okay, so what is avant-garde? Like I pay attention and I like zone in. So Vice was. I fell asleep and got a little boring, but all in all, everybody's acting is great.
Yeah.
Amy Adams great, Christian Bale great, Steve Carell great, Sam Rockwell great. What's his face? Black director. Did Along Came a Spider. What's his name? Donates a lot to charity.
I don't know.
Anyways, he plays Colin Powell. Like everybody who plays anybody is somebody you've seen around. I give it 4 elderly men who shot somebody in the face while they were hunting out of 5.
Oh wow! 4 hunting accidents out of 5.
4 hunting accidents out of 5.
Air quote hunting accidents out of 5.
Hunting accidents. So yeah. Now,
Tyler Perry.
Thank you very much.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler
I
Perry.
didn't know
Yeah.
that's hers. What? Why didn't you say like Medina or something?
Yeah.
Clearly,
Or what's her name? Medea.
Medea. Yeah, clearly. Yeah, that is that's what everyone knows him for. I don't know much of him, so
House of Pain.
Yeah, that's what I say. I know from Tyler Perry's House of Pain.
that was a
the
TV
one.
show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's it. So because Chris is not here, which we miss Chris when you hear this, we missed it. We hope Kitty's okay, and your argument is definitely missed. Maybe we'll bring it up later. Maybe we won't.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck you. No, that's not how we feel. So we decided to do another 2 trailers like we did on last episode.
Yeah.
So let's start with Ford versus Ferrari. Let's start there. Martin, what did you?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Carol
Shelby.
I love Carol Shelby, man. Like I think his Mustang was one of my favorite
The Shelby
cars
GT,
ever.
yeah.
Ever.
So it's Carol Shelby and Ken Miles is the driver.
Yeah.
I also
Who Bale
believe
plays?
who Bale plays, and one of the other guys plays Lee Iacocca.
Oh, yeah,
Lee
that
Iacocca
was-
worked for Ford before he worked for
Before he
Chrysler.
worked for Chrysler, yeah.
And then there's 4 major names. I'm just bringing it up on IMDb right now.
I remember this in hearing historically about the Carol Shelby designing the car for Ford for Le Mans. To specifically, Ferrari had this ridiculous dynasty of wins, and
Yeah.
it's pretty
Well,
interesting history.
It was, they had, when they started it 5 years like Ferrari started it to showcase Ferrari. I think it's just one big giant commercial for them. But I didn't know much about it. And when I Wikipedia'd it, I was like, oh, it's 24 hours
Yeah,
of
24
racing.
hours Le Mans, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, that I guess is the Tour de France of the race car world.
It's
right?
like, longevity of the car. Like, it's not just fast. It's, can you keep it running
Yeah.
for 24 hours?
Straight. And I mean, they've done that like on.
They do a lot of rally stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
Rally car
totally.
racing.
And I mean, those cars, man, like those guys are racing at, I mean, I don't know much about racing, but I'm sure the speed has not evolved that much over the years. Just the safety factor has probably
those things
changed.
were absolute
Yeah.
death traps. Yeah.
Like if you got into an accident in one of
You're
those
gonna
cars,
die.
you're writing your own ticket
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, you had to be crazy. And they show that from the clip.
Well, they were all test cars, right?
Christian Bale looks crazy.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
has to be crazy.
You know what? And I love when he gets to talk in his native tongue. I love that
His
dirty
his
English accent that he has. I love him 40 pounds heavier. I love him 113 pounds in The Machinist. Like, Christian Bale and Leonardo DiCaprio are always neck and neck for my male crush Mondays or whatever the
Bale
fuck they're.
he's got range.
Bale's like an up and coming.
Let's talk about all the actors that have range, unlike the one we talked about.
No range.
Yeah, like this. Perfect. This is a perfect example. You've got Oscar winners in here. You got Oscar nominated.
Let's talk about all of them.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. I'm excited about that movie. I'm not gonna. I think that's what I'll see in theaters too.
I think it's gonna have a great soundtrack.
I don't know
too.
what it is. I like race movies. Like I like it's a Premium Rush with what about Niki Lauda and what's his name?
That's
Chris Pine's character.
Chris Pine.
Sorry, what was his name?
Chris Helmsworth.
Hemsworth. Yeah, Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Hemsworth.
That's Niki Lauda versus.
Anyways,
yeah.
that one I loved. I love like Days of Thunder, another Tom Cruise movie.
Days of Thunder. Robin's racing, baby. Robin's
Yeah.
racing.
You mean the less funny Ballad of Ricky Bobby?
yeah. I like that too. Ballad of Ricky Bobby is another racing movie I love.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
What does that even mean, Daddy?
Like Cannonball Run. I love all those. I love racing movies.
What about the Sylvester Stallone open wheel Formula One Driven? Remember that one?
Oh, I don't remember that one.
I remember the commercials for. I didn't actually sit down and.
I think I might have seen it once.
Horrible.
I don't remember.
It's also a very limited range actor that we've discussed before.
Yes, we like
somebody really likes actors with no range.
I love them, man.
Yeah.
They're part of my childhood.
We love boxing ourselves in so that the debate is very hard to perform, which you will.
Next, we're going to talk about which one of the many styles of Jackie Chan we're going to pick for.
Yeah.
Was that a slight on me? You looked at me again with that one. I'm like, why would we pick up Jackie Chan? You could have picked any actor.
Can you pick Jackie Chan different in any of his movies? He's himself in every single movie.
As I pull my glasses down and look at you,
like the one he did, his last movie that he did, where his daughter gets kidnapped, is actually pretty decent. That's probably his best.
Does he beat people up?
But not as much. Not as much as you think. Not as
okay.
much as you think. Yeah.
It's
not like straight up, but
But Martin will definitely make it so that if we do Jackie Chan movies, it's all the ones he does in his language and not in English.
Yes,
we'll have to
100%.
we'll have to learn a language to be able to.
Mike, you know I'm Filipino, right? And not Chinese. I don't speak Mandarin or Cantonese.
No, we're not talking about your Asian ancestry. We're talking about your love of characters that play the same thing in every movie they're in.
I love them. They're great.
I am well aware of your racial background. I am not
I'll have to learn a new language to learn it. I'm like, I have to learn the same language.
They made a movie for you. It's called The Expendables. And The Expendables 2.
I love all the. Let's just do an all Expendables debate one time.
Yeah, no, we should one day. We really should. Okay, so
we still have the trailer, right?
They say they're expendable.
Will you go see it in the theater, Martin? Will you wait for it? Because I kind of want to go see this.
I don't think I'd see it like opening day, but I would see it definitely in the theater. Maybe second week, third week.
Yeah.
Maybe Monday, seems like some of the racing stuff is cool, like big screen sound, big sound.
You'll need that.
You're gonna have those like corner of the racetrack shots where like the wheel comes over and it gives you like that really immersed feeling. I think by the trailer, I think we're gonna have a really great soundtrack. Like we're gonna have, we're not gonna have a score. Possibly. We're gonna have a soundtrack. Which,
in that era of cars, there's good music.
Mm-hmm.
Cars and music in that era. Oh my God. Oh yeah, it's not even an hour and a half yet in Buffalo. The cat has come out to say hello. She's early. Sorry, I get sidetracked by pussy.
Mike just got hashtagged on the internet. And it's not even the start of the debate. We just lost all our followers in Utah.
Anywho.
Mark, what about you? Do you want to? Because I'll ask Martin to go. We should all go see it together. Is what I'm saying.
You know what? I would go see it if somebody wanted to go see it. I don't think I'm going to be self-motivated to go see it in the theater.
Okay.
I'll wait till it comes home. Because I have realistically, I don't know. I have a big 65-inch TV that is big enough for that things for me.
How big?
I'll watch it.
How big is
it's big TV.
So
I don't think I'm not gonna necessarily take my evening and go see it in the theater.
If we plan it, you'll come.
I'll plan it. If somebody else plans it, I'm all in.
Okay.
All right.
We'll plan it. And we'll just text
I'll
you.
go. I'm always game for going to movies. I'm very bad at initiating going to movies.
Yeah.
Me and Mark, when we went to go see Hobbs versus Shaw, the day we talked about it is the day I bought tickets, but. With the Adam, this is.
We haven't talked about this yet.
We haven't talked about it. I totally forgot last episode.
Go see movies with Mike. It's entertaining.
Oh, it's super fun.
I've seen him, so I know what you're talking about.
I always go to movies stoned. Which like Steve went and saw Godzilla with me, and when that opening scene in the first one. When the whole thing collapses in on itself, I was like, "Whoa, that's a big hole!" Like stupid high, but like out of 10, like everybody in the theater heard how big I thought that hole was, right? So Martin's used to putting up with that from me, but anyway, so I buy.
Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you. Yeah. You're like George Costanza's. That's gotta hurt. He can't compete with laser pointer. Yes. He's just like that's gotta hurt.
I'm that guy. Like when I go see Martin do stand up, he always knows I'm there because I'm the loud laugher.
I know his laugh.
It's a booming laugh.
Do you just laugh or do you like say stupid stuff?
He hits the table.
I hit the table. I hit the table and I bellow.
I was like the one guy at the back that's like, that's funny.
That's Michael.
Instead of laughing, did you need to say that? Couldn't you just laugh?
Yeah, isn't your laugh recognition of how funny the joke is?
That's some funny shit right
there. Too fucking funny, buddy.
So what happened?
Okay.
I'm dying to know what happened to Hobbs and Shaw.
Okay.
Anyways,
so
we were talking. Hey, we should go see the movie. Blah blah blah. And Tuesday. We go on Tuesday or Thursday
Well,
or Friday? No, we on a Friday.
Tuesday
we
we
talked
talked
about it
about-
on Tuesday.
Yes. So I go into the Atom app and I go to.
I'm pretty sure Mike was high already.
I was stupid fucking high when it happened.
He bought
And
tickets for the movie for us to go.
Yeah.
We get to
That
the-
night.
That night.
That night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know how you have to change the calendar?
He bought tickets for Tuesday. We were going for Friday.
Wait, the next Tuesday or the Tuesday that already passed?
No.
The day we were talking, 3 days before it, we're like, we should go on Friday. Okay, yeah, I'll buy tickets. Oh, I got tickets for us. He bought tickets for that night.
So when you got to the theater, like,
So we didn't know till we got to the theater. We're like, I can't find the tickets on my phone.
Where are my fucking tickets? Like, I'm panicking. I'm like,
And then he's like, what's the stupid app? Oh, I bought them for Tuesday.
so then, like, last minute, grab the last 2 tickets as we're
And
like.
luckily, the seats were
parking.
open.
Yeah. So going
how are your
to-
seats?
Good. I think they're fine.
The first time Martin took us to a selected seat theater, we were like right front row, and I gave him shit for it. Like it was, I was like,
It was opening day of Star Wars first show,
like,
and there was
yeah.
like nothing left. Like the website crashed when I tried to buy tickets.
So I'm like, whatever, fucking bad seat buyer, Martin person. The next movie we go see, I'm like, I'll buy the tickets. And this is the first time I'm buying them.
Yep.
And I didn't look, like, I just saw seats and was like, okay, I guess, like, it's inverted, right? Like, the screen is closest to me at the bottom.
Yeah.
But, like, the screen was up here.
I want to
so
make a
bought-
Tom Cruise reference so bad
I
about
bought-
inverted.
Yeah, it was inverted. And so I bought, like, front row seats. And I was like,
I
know
won't
how-
get it.
Yeah.
I know.
But like I said, I was like, I texted everybody. I was like, yes, this is how you buy seats. And then we get there and it's like front
Front
row,
row.
front fucking center.
Actually, that's the only one I will get, the inverted one. How could you tell if you were an inverted? Well, we were.
We got a Polaroid.
What were you
It's
doing?
a great shot, man. It's a great shot.
We were keeping up relations.
Communicating, keeping up foreign relations.
What were
So you
doing?
got front row tickets also.
So I got front row tickets. and
did
like,
you really not let him hear the end of it?
Oh, I
Yeah.
nailed it
Okay,
on.
perfect.
I nailed it on.
I
He got us
Because he gave it
got
to
us
me.
good
so-
tickets.
Yeah.
Anything to the movie that we were already at would have been good.
That was a $40 movie per person.
I know. I can imagine. Movie tickets are cheap.
Like,
No.
like I don't care, but like I was just like I paid way too much to see Hobbs' show. Like we definitely
Well, you
I had some good popcorn
it was
and
yeah,
some
yeah.
Pepsi Freestyle.
supported The Rock and
Coke Freestyle or
Jason
whatever.
Statham.
that drink machine at
I want one of those at home.
the Landmark Theater drink machines are the best.
Oh,
drink
it's the one
machines
that
like 300 combinations or something silly
Yeah.
like that.
The peach
cool.
iced tea. Come
Oh,
on.
vanilla iced tea
Yeah,
is my
man.
jam. And then also smuggling in cheeseburgers in my
Smuggling
pants.
and cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Yes.
I put
that's a Mike thing.
Pocket burgers.
Yeah, that's a Mike thing.
I can't
And
imagine.
the funny part is we get in there and he just takes them out and stacks them on
Yeah.
the arm of his chair.
He does
I'm
that.
not hiding these anymore. I got them in here.
I'm already in. They can't kick me out. Oh, yes, they can, Mike.
That's the
they
fucking
can kick you
threshold.
out.
Like, and really, what do you like? I'll give you like if a guy comes over to me, I'm like, I bought one for you to shut up. Like this is bribery.
You always get a bribe cheeseburger.
I get a spare just in case.
Oh, okay.
The one day he get kicked out, I'll be like, I'm not with him. I'm gonna stay here and watch the movie.
Oh fuck. Okay. So check this out. So me and Martin go to see Lord of the Rings. Actually, no, it wasn't Lord of the Rings. It was
Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
Battle of Five Armies.
Battle of Five Armies. So we go and we get tickets. We go in. We sit down. This is before online ticket purchases, select seating, all that stuff. And I think you'll agree with us, Mark, that the jacket on the seat is the universal showing, like the universal communication tool to show that a seat has been
Yes.
taken.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And also to preface, it was an empty theater.
Yeah. Like really empty Wednesday night. Like
Now I do have some issues with the people that bring like the long jacket and try to save 4 seats with one jacket.
2 seats, 2 people, 2 jackets.
Yes.
That's it.
that's it.
Okay, that is acceptable.
All right. Okay. So, excuse me. So we get up, go get our snacks, come back. And we're looking, and I'm like, "Where? Like this is where we were, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I look, and there's like 5 people right where we were, but our jackets are gone. So we walk over, and I'm like, "I think we were sitting here," and they were like, "Well, no, you weren't." So we moved your jackets. And I looked at the guy, and I was like, "Are you really? Like that's what you're gonna go with? Like you moved our jackets? Like don't you know that when you put your jacket down, that's kind of marking the seat?" And he was like, "Yeah, but you weren't here." And then so Martin like kind of pushes me to the side because he sees that I'm getting hot, and he's like, "Buddy, are you gonna be this guy? You gonna be this guy? Come on, buddy! Like seriously."
But I got hot too, so like it's not gonna end well.
Like we tagged in and out of this conversation. Like he pushed me aside. I caught my breath. I was like, "Woosah, woosah." Come back in. I'm like, "Okay, fine. You can sit here. That's fine. Where's our jackets?" And he points to the end of the aisle, like not like the 2 seats at the furthest point from where they were all in the row now. He put it at the end of the row, like 12 seats in the other direction. So not even like, now we have to go rumble through our jackets. And I was like, so what made you think this was a good idea to move my jacket? And I was like, where's my wallet? Where's my cell phone? Where's my car keys? Where's my cheeseburger? Where's my weed? Right? Like,
Where are my 3 cheeseburgers?
Where are all my cheeseburgers?
you know, and
Mike can't watch a movie without them.
and the guy's just like stammering at this point. And he's like, well, it's over there. And I was like, go fucking get it. So he got up in front of his friends. And
I would have sat down in his chair as soon as he got up. Well, you weren't there.
Mike, you just got excitable on Mike. You just got excitable on Mike, Mark. You just got excitable on Mike.
Because I was waiting to the end. I'm like, I just would have watched him like a hawk. And if he ever got up, I'd go sit in his chair. You weren't there.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
dude, we sat right beside him.
Right,
I was sitting right beside him, and I was white knuckling it the whole movie. And I was like, I want to make this movie as uncomfortable for this guy
I would
as
have just sat there
possible.
and stared at him.
And even you could
Eating
hear his
cheeseburgers.
You could hear his friends, and they were like, "Come on, just like whatever, we'll move." And he was like resilient. And I'm like, "Go take your." No offense to anybody who plays Dungeons and Dragons, but this guy looks like he plays way too much Dungeons and Dragons, and like doesn't have the social skills that like people learn in these scenarios where it's like, oh, there's a like when you put the chair over at the casino, or like put even the light on. Like these are things that mean someone is here. It's occupado, motherfucker. Like,
Oh, people get stabbed over taking somebody's machine at VLTs.
yeah, well, I mean, that, rightly
You know
so.
what
If
I
you've
mean?
been milking a machine all night
It's
long,
not the
like-
seats. I just like, don't touch our stuff.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
what
the
if,
real
what if
big
something
thing.
falls
Yeah.
out of my pockets
It's
and stuff
civility
like that?
in this day and age.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
touch
it
other
was
people's shit if you
just
don't ask.
yeah. Anyways, enough about movie theater conversations. Second trailer.
Oh, jeez. What are we, 2 hours in already?
No, we're good. We got time. So
Knives Out.
Knives
That looks
Out.
cool too.
Right.
Super cool.
Can I just say I'm so glad that Chris Evans can swear again. When I first heard that, I
Now
was
that
like,
they've killed Captain America?
yeah, he's like, up your ass. I was like, oh, yes, thank God. I love it.
It's been a while since we've heard him cuss.
It's super exciting.
Yeah.
It is.
Who done it? Basically, I gotta admit, I start watching it and I loved the movie Clue.
Me too. Once
Mark,
again,
that's
Tim
exactly
Curry's in
what
it.
I was-
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
I love the movie Clue. I love the idea of, and I've said this before, I like movies that take place in confined areas.
You do.
So I love the idea of a bunch of people being locked in a house, something happening, and then, it being I watched the Jennifer Aniston Netflix movie. It was kind of who done it like that. What was it called?
Oh, yeah.
It was just out recently with
Adam Sandler.
Jason Bateman.
Or Jason Bateman.
Not Jason Bateman.
Adam
Jason
Sandler?
Bateman?
Adam
Adam
Sandler.
Sandler. Adam
Yeah, I saw that.
Sandler.
That was good too.
It was good, and it was kind of like a whodunit too, right? They get to the
Yeah.
house and they're trying to figure all that stuff out, and
They're like the American couple on vacation.
yeah, people getting killed on that was in the boat. That
Yeah,
was-
the yacht or
I'm
whatever.
like, oh, this is pretty cool. I love whodunits. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I love those. It was fun.
And
That looks
James
cool.
Bond investigating it. Come on,
James
Yeah.
Bond with a southern accent. It's Daniel Craig talking like it's from
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it too, which is
Louisiana.
nice.
Well, it's Ryan.
or
Jo-
Cowboys and
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
It's Ryan Johnson's new movie, and I'm fairly certain it's Ryan because it's Rian, which is one of those.
Rianne.
Rianne.
Rain?
No,
Rianne?
Rianne is too stripper.
I don't know. Anyways.
It's pronounced rain.
It's pronounced Rain? I don't know.
It's pronounced Rian. Aaron.
You want to go to war, Balake?
Balake. I just watched that episode the other day.
It's so good, Key and Peele. Love it.
Well, and you know what? Okay, so he did
Looper.
Looper, but he also did another movie with
The Last Jedi.
Well, but okay, so I wrote give me a second here. Ryan Johnson. He did a movie that I really love. The Bloom, the Brothers Bloom. I don't know if you've ever. This is.
Who's in it?
The Brothers Bloom. It's a pretty stacked cast. So it's Rachel Weisz, Adrian Brody, Mark
Weiss.
Ruffalo, Rinko Kikuchi, Robbie Coltrane, and who else? Those are the big names. Also did I think he did Brick? No, did he do Brick? I don't think he did Brick.
Brick Mansions.
No, like Brick with Joseph.
That was a good movie.
But this is
Also
what,
a one-dimensional character.
This is what he did before.
Takes place in a confined area.
Fuckers. This is what he did before Star Wars. This was his wheelhouse. This is what he kind of got cut his teeth on.
I liked Looper. Looper was amazing.
Looper's one of my favorite sci-fi movies. But I feel that he's back to what he's good at. You know, I mean, when someone gives you Star Wars, you're gonna you're not gonna turn turn Star Wars money down. That's fuck you money, right?
Yeah.
And so when I saw this trailer come out with like the big TIFF trailer roll, I was like, oh, okay, this is like the Brothers Bloom is a kooky whodunit caper con man kind of movie with Adrian Brody and Mark Ruffalo as these brothers who have been just doing the long con and you know, seducing women and stealing art, and it's incredibly dry and incredibly funny. So
is that like a remake of the what do you call it? What's that Michael Caine and Steve Martin movie? Where they try to they're con artists.
Oh, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Dirty
Rotten
Rotten
Scoundrels. Yeah.
Mother. Rupert.
Why does he have a cork on his fork?
Rupert, go play with your pots and pans.
May I go to the washroom?
Are you mother?
Thank you.
Nothing like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Trading Places, Caddyshack, like that run in the 80s is
all movies that will never get made again.
No.
As we were talking about earlier. As are our movies we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. Well, never gonna make it made again.
A good chunk of them.
One last thing to note about Knives Out, it's an original story. It's
Yeah,
not
it
a
seems
fucking
super
remake,
interesting,
right?
yeah.
It's not like it's gonna have it's just not recycled, I guess.
And talk about a stacked cast.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Daniel Craig, Chris
Evans.
Evans, Michael
Don
Shan-
Johnson.
Don
Yeah,
Johnson.
Don Johnson. I
Michael
think we both said that. We're like,
Yeah.
Don Johnson?
Yeah.
What?
Like it's totally stacked. And Don Johnson's coming out in he's coming out in The Watchmen. He's got a role in the new Watchmen.
Oh, really?
He's a major player in the Watchmen series. After Django, I think he kind of came back into the spotlight.
He was really good in Django.
He for his little brief moment in time, he was absolutely amazing. So
I hate Don Johnson.
you
Don,
hate
you
Don
don't?
Johnson?
I know I don't hate
Oh.
Don Johnson.
I'm like, you can only hate Tom Cruise.
I like him a lot.
You're not a hateful person. You have to select your.
He
hate
was
accordingly.
on. I watched this the TV series with him. He was really
Miami
good.
Vice.
Miami Vice.
No, after that,
Walker? No, not Walker.
where
Wasn't
he
he
was
like
like they were like some drug enforcement agency kind of thing, and it was I can't remember what it was called.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
All
But
right.
it was better than Miami Vice.
Well, you think about it, Martin. You're gonna go to the theater. You're gonna wait till this one comes out on streaming service.
I'll watch this one on theater too.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
This one looks good. I would go see this
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
And it seems like they're really playing up the like watch for the clues, solve the mystery. I'm like, that stuff's fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely theater bound. Mark, you're
Very
theater
Inspector
bound.
Clouseau,
Yes, right.
like Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Or like what's the one with Josh Arnett? Lucky Number 11, right? Like caper, crime.
I like
whodunit.
movies like that.
Those are the ones that make you Usual Suspects, right? King of.
And I kind of thought
That
the
make
whole
you think.
Knives Out thing, I don't know what the significance is, but he's sitting
On a
in
chair,
front
knives?
of that wheel of
Yeah.
knives behind him. It kind of reminded me of like the Iron Throne.
That's what I thought too.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll all go see it, and then Martin will go see it with somebody else and hurt my feelings.
I never saw that movie with anybody else.
No, Hobbs and Shaw. I was like, let's go see Hobbs and Shaw. You're like, okay, and then you're like, oh, I saw Hobbs and Shaw.
I never saw it. I told you.
You
Remember?
said you did see it.
No, we talked about this last podcast, and I said I was talking about Spider-Man because someone said Spider-Man. I said, I already saw
that's
Spider-Man.
right. Okay.
Remember when I came? I was
So
already
I
doing,
really
yeah.
fucked that whole thing up.
Yeah.
You could have paid twice as much to see. The
Oh, I
same
know.
movie.
I'm glad I didn't go to that. And I'll just wait for it.
All right, so what are we here to debate today?
Martin, please take us into the debate.
Oh, I thought you were gonna take us.
No, it's your idea, buddy. You read this whole thing in.
I have
Oh.
nothing to do with this topic.
Yeah, no, we
I'm here in protest.
we are a democracy unlike no other, and we try to share the room as much as possible when it comes to this. So, Martin, you came up with this idea, and I liked it. Me and Mark kind of, just for a little context, we fought you back on it because, and I didn't realize this until last night because in theory, I was having a hard time with it. So instead of like smoke and mirroring right now, how about you just talk and tell people what we're talking about? Whoa, Siri, what the fuck?
Siri is wondering too.
Yeah.
No, I just
so it's
basically
best chair in a comedy movie. Is
best
that-
chair in.
Best
Oh, no,
blackout to
that-
the end.
that has
credits.
more range.
Yes.
Best
okay.
chair. No, I think I wanted a fun topic.
You did.
And I thought like, oh, who could be like the worst sex education teacher imaginable as like an actor, like a real life actor, who would it be? And I was like, well, Arnold, I would not want him like doing that, but it'd be fun to do an episode to be like, okay, well, who would you pick as your sex ed teacher from any Arnold Schwarzenegger character? Not the Terminator, I believe. Was the only
no
thing?
Terminator was the only one because
Yeah,
that's what
we
I thought.
We wanted one of the more like roles you wouldn't think of, or you wouldn't see some of his more less popular ones, I guess. And I think we all picked some of his less popular roles.
Well, we definitely did, and I was like, okay, Predator, nope. Like, how do you take from like Last Action Hero? Nope. Like, I really
you had to think about this one. They're all. There's no good choices, and I think that'll be the fun of it. There's like you don't want like we could have picked who's gonna be a good sex ed. Like that's not the point of this debate. It's not gonna be who's gonna be suited for it. It's like well you got a bucket of shit to pick from. Which shit do you want to eat, right, Mark? Which shit are you gonna eat?
I disagree. I think I picked a character that's gonna do a fantastic job of doing a bang up sex ed education. I took it. See, I think when you started it, you're like, I think we're gonna take this guy and Arnold's kind of like a really brash, like not much range, not much feeling in his voice, not much sensitivity, and he's gonna breach these topics of sex education. And I'm like, I took it for the meaning. Well, I'm gonna pick a character that I would want, and I said, to teach my children sex education.
Surprisingly, I'm the same way with my character. If you ever seen mine, like we both pick pick similar characters. I'll say that.
Yes, and I want to pick a character that I'm like that would respectfully teach my children about sex.
That's how I thought of it originally.
Not like I want to see the funniest. Like I want to stick this guy in a camp and see what the fuck happens because he doesn't know about shit. And hilarity ensues.
Play pranks on him all day.
Yeah,
I like fucking with the world. I just want to watch it burn.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna pick a character that I'm gonna make an argument for why he would actually be good.
That's how I thought of it.
He might not be funny, but he might be good.
Yeah.
And
I tried to pick I'm the same way. Like at first I was like, okay, let's pick a character that'll be super funny, but then eventually I'm like, well, let's try something that'll actually be useful. But I mean, he's not my first choice. But I mean, if I had to choose, he would be the one that I would choose to deliver this news to, like if I had kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Mike did not.
No, I didn't.
So we all took different approaches, right? To it.
Well, okay. So we're missing one important factor here because when we say kids, we mean of high school age, right? So,
well, whenever you took sex ed, like grade 7, grade 8, I think it was.
Grade 7, grade 8 is where it started, but like really, like actually it was grade 7, 8, or 9. I guess that is
in school. You learn it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
in life, you learn a lot more later.
Or actually sooner. This day and age.
Yeah. R. Kelly knows that.
But that's 2 R. Kelly references this podcast. That's too many. One was bad enough. And I apologize for bringing that up.
I got R. Kelly on my mind because the new Chappelle special, there's a big dig on R. Kelly and it's pretty funny. Okay, so we did say that there was grade 7, 8, 9, high school, junior high.
Whatever you learn, high school, junior high.
That's kind of where it is. So well, you know what? Fuck it. I will let mine speak for itself.
Keep it to yourself.
Yes,
you get there.
I know. All right. So
let's just get going. Dive right into this.
Martin, take us away.
Okay, so I went with the 1994 movie Junior.
Can't deal with what?
What are you? What are you two like a? What are you, a twosome?
What? Whoa, no.
What is going on around here?
He's pregnant.
I'm gonna be a mama too.
Dr. Alex Hess, Ivan Reitman movie. But so like
family special.
I like this character because I mean, he what his focus is on reproduction. He's a doctor. He's a scientist. He's basically creating a drug that helps prevent miscarriages and stuff like that. I thought that was a cool concept. And in the movie, what he does is he doesn't get FDA approval. So
never do.
In order to get human testing trials, he just doesn't tell anybody and puts an embryo inside his body, and he takes the drug so that he can carry a child.
Yes, that is exactly how I remember that nightmare.
Yeah. It wasn't a good movie. I watched it. I think
really responsible.
Definitely want my child's safety in their hands. Please teach my children things about ethics specifically.
Here's the thing. Like the one thing that that I like about it is if you're a teacher, you get like kind of because family studies isn't just about or sex ed isn't just about putting on the condom, right? You go through the pregnancy, you go through all the stages of it, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get a character who has gone through both sides of the coin of pregnancy. Like he's carried a child through trimester and he delivered it C-section. And he's also like at the end of the movie, you see that his partner Emma Thompson is pregnant with their next kid. So he's also been that side of it. So I mean. He can convey that message, both sides of the coin to the class. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's why I liked him as that choice. And he's, he's a doctor, he's a scientist. He can explain everything in medical terms in a responsible way. And I'm sure he's had experience teaching and doing seminars and stuff like that. So I think I like the movie. Like it gives you that side of like, okay, well, women have always, like in the movie, they say women have always been saying, why can't men feel what it's like to be pregnant? And this is the time. Like, you know what I mean? In this movie,
okay,
there's a man who is pregnant, and he goes through all the feelings and the emotions of what it's like to carry a living thing inside you and stuff like that. So I think that's a useful tool that he can pass on to the next generation.
So empathy, essentially.
Yeah, and I envision too, how they have exercises in school. I mean, you wear that thing around your waist or in class. The belly.
What are
just
you
to feel like
about?
you never had that in your sex ed class?
No.
You would wear like a belly just to see what it's like.
I had the baby I had to take home and take care of.
But yeah, but you wear that big.
My school just preached abstinence.
No P in the V.
Did you go down to school in Mississippi? No, but you would wear that the girls would wear the like the belly suit, the fake suit that you'd wear, so you know what it feels like to carry the weight.
Okay, I know what
weight wise,
you're talking about.
when you're in like the third trimester, I guess, of how it feels to carry something that heavy around you all the time. It's not comfortable, and you would feel that. So I think like in my class, I would envision like the guys doing that too in this case, since in this world, guys can carry kids.
Yeah. No. Okay.
You know what I mean? So
in a utopia.
In this world, yeah. But that's my main argument. I mean, he's got the science background, he's got everything. The knowledge, and he's one person who's gone through both sides.
It's a very fuck.
I think that's a.
Thank you. Take it.
I think that it's maybe a small piece of sex education, the actual process of becoming pregnant and carrying to term, and I think there's so many other aspects of sexually transmitted diseases and
well, like I said, like
hygiene and
gender identification and understanding all of
Agreed.
the different. And I don't know if any version of Arnold is
that's what I mean.
sensitive to those.
But that's what I mean. See, here's the point. Like,
that's going against my Arnold too. So.
But I mean, like, that's the one thing that he brings to the table that I think that can shine on, because I remember in ours, like I remember vaguely from mine, but yeah, we pregnancy was a huge part of it. I mean, there was sex, but they didn't really touch up on sexually transmitted diseases in ours. They kind of glossed over it during my sexual sex ed classes, but the
fuck, you
pregnancy
got
thing was
ripped
the big
off.
one.
I had like a whole month of that, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he is a scientist, he's a doctor, and reproduction is his focus. So I mean, he could bring. I'm sure he has that knowledge base of sexually transmitted diseases. Maybe not the gender identity stuff. That's a whole different thing. And but then again, this movie was made when they didn't have that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? They didn't have that
when the world was a different place.
Back then. So
simpler times.
But I think that's what he brings to the table, just that science background and the fact that he's had both sides, had a baby. Yeah.
Okay. How would he teach me how to put a condom on?
Not well. I do not want to see those big hands in any of our characters. Really, I do not want to see those big hands on a cucumber or a banana. Like, you just imagine just Arnold just those big sausages of fingers just putting condoms on that thing. It's a nightmare.
For it to translate well, it would have to be like a shotgun shell and like a raincoat, like so that his hands don't, like, he would just probably rip the condom. God damn it, another condom.
Yeah, I think you should vote for me because I think I'm the one movie where you have to see Arnold cry more than once. Like,
doesn't he have like hot flashes? Like,
watching him crying, experiencing all the emotions and stuff that goes through, like, all the mixed feelings that you get when you're...
like, that's my only argument, is that he'd be so hormonal.
But he's not pregnant when he's teaching. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's already done it, and that's why I think that's what he can bring to the children.
Okay, so this is 9 months after he's ready to go
he's
back to the
already done.
workforce.
Yeah,
he's like, I'll teach sex ed.
Returning from mat leave.
Yeah. I can really give some knowledge to the world. But you know that's my argument for him.
Mark, you got it. You want to chew him apart at all? Like I see his science.
I see the point.
Yeah.
I see. He is a scientist. He is involved with
doctor.
fertility.
A doctor, not just a scientist.
And,
a doctor.
a doctor. And I
Dr.
mean,
Schwarzenegger.
if he's a doctor, I'm sure he's got some qualifications and such like that. I'm having a hard time with Arnold in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not the best person to criticize anything. I'll tear my own apart.
Yeah, like
But
mine is.
I see what you're getting at. It's a lot better than like you said, the Predator or something. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like he is so.
Well, this is his. Sorry.
That's not his bread and butter.
No, it's
right?
a different role. Like he only pushes one person in the whole movie.
That's
like
so
it's not
weird,
an action.
yeah.
Like it's weird to see that. I mean, in other movies, at least he does some fight scenes, but this one there was no fight scenes. He pushes one guy. That's it. That is, yeah. So I mean, it's not his normal
All the
role.
pushing.
It's definitely, I think, the character that is like, I think we were talking earlier about characters who get typecast. This is a character that is not typically Arnold. I think that's where the comedy ensues in it. It's just like,
there's characters that get typecast, and there's characters that are one-dimensional and can only do one thing.
but I mean, it's not that. No, that's what I. But he is one
No
dimensional.
offense, Arnold, if you hear this.
Yeah, we still love you, but he is like, you know what I mean. He is a typecast. It's not a typecast character, but it's like Sorry, he's one-dimensional, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is that this a character he doesn't normally play, and he doesn't do it well, but he attempts it at least. You know what I mean? It's something different. It's a different side of Arnold that we see.
It is definitely a different side of Arnold.
Yeah, and I think that's why I only got through like the first act. Like I don't remember finishing that movie whatsoever. But I mean, it's a great sentiment. It's ahead of its time when it comes to script writing. Like to acknowledge the fact that he definitely would be. Arnold's the hammer to me, right? Like some problems need a conversation, some problems need a hammer.
And then they put him as like kind of the needle in this movie. It's like,
yeah,
you know
that's
like, instead of being the hammer, you're the needle. Now
I just bring his ethics into question. That when he faces a roadblock, then he does something completely unethical.
Yeah,
and,
I think they brought up a good example
experiments
on
on himself.
They brought up a good example of the guy. I forget what his name was. The guy who. What was the cure? I forget what the cure is, but there was a scientist who had who was trying to do a cure for a famous disease, but instead of like waiting for testing, he did it on himself, and now we have this wonderful cure. I forget what it was, but I can come back to it later on that. So.
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever got anywhere by following the rules. I think that's some famous quote, right? Somewhere I've seen that's a meme on the internet somewhere. But like that, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean like ethically breaking medical law, but at the same time, there is something to be said for his bravery, so to speak, when he's not crying.
And he's doing it to himself. He's not putting someone else through it, which is I think was a bit more admirable. Like if he tested some random person, saying like, oh yeah, but this one he does it to himself. That way, if anything happens, he's the one who suffers and nobody else.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
All right,
Yeah, all right.
I accept your choice.
Thank you.
I'll let it be a part of my reality. Mark.
Hey,
Hi.
I also picked a non-Arnold-y role.
God, I'm gonna be so perverted today.
I can't wait.
So I thought the same thing. Arnold is so brash in so many of his shows, and he's just like the badass. And
He's
like,
bull in the China shop.
like Conan. It doesn't say words. He's just big muscles and hurts people.
I think the original movie he doesn't have very many speaking lines.
he couldn't speak. I don't
No.
think.
No.
But that's Arnold. So I tried to pick something that was a little bit different, that had some diversity, and that fit this topic. I picked his character from Twins.
You gotta talk into the phone, bozo.
Vincent. Dearest Vincent, I know you don't know who I am, but believe me, I came halfway across the world.
Whoa. I got another 6 hours to pay the money back. And tell the Claim brothers that harassing a man who's already in the slammer is beneath even them, all right?
I don't know any Klein brothers. I'm your brother, Julius.
Huh? Come again?
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother.
Love that movie.
Yeah, classic. Him
Mark.
and Danny DeVito.
I don't know if I mentioned also Danny DeVito in mine and Ivan Reitman movies, both of them.
Oh, look at that.
So
That's right.
Just a trio of blockbuster hits from the 80s.
the 90s actually.
Actually, you guys
Oh,
are 90s.
90s, sorry,
I'm
90s.
80s, yeah.
So anyways, his character in the movie is Julius Benedict. Julius was basically just there's a team of going back to experimenting and going outside of ethical boundaries.
Like
There's a team of scientists that want to create the perfect human being. So they take all of the DNA and characteristics, and they're going to kind of create this perfect human. And instead, during the process, the embryo splits, but it doesn't split evenly. So one twin gets all of the intelligence and all the good looks and all the charm, and the other one just gets whatever else is left.
That's the quote from the movie.
Yes. So Julius is then taken because it splits and there's two babies. I guess the scientists basically scatter, but one scientist takes Arnold, Julius, to this South Pacific island to raise him. And he raises him on all of the classic literature and math and science and just basically like a pure form of teaching somebody, right? Mm-hmm. So I took it from the side of Arnold. If he's going to be teaching my sex ed class, Arnold is a blank slate, right? He doesn't have any opinions. He hasn't been in a relationship. He's 35 years old, hasn't been with a girl. I took it as his virginity and blank slate side of things with being an extremely, possibly the most intelligent human being that's ever been created.
Yeah.
Right? So you could then take him, input a curriculum through the books that you want him to teach, and then he doesn't input a lot of his own feelings and thoughts into it. So I thought, what better of a teacher is you lay out a curriculum from A to Z into a computer, basically, and he's going to spit it out without his own personal feelings and his own personal experiences clouding it, right?
Yeah.
So from a standpoint of who would be a perfect sex ed teacher, because most people who teach this topic have some either a platform that they're trying to go
agenda.
into.
They're trying to push an agenda.
Right? An agenda, or they have their own personal opinions about things, whether that is abstinence, we joke about it, or whether that is, other things like, oh, well, I had a baby when I was 16 and I turned out fine. And then other ones, well, it ruined my life. And he doesn't have any of that. He doesn't even have a bad sexual experience.
Because he was isolated on that island, right?
Yeah.
For till 35.
And when he meets the girl in the movie, I don't know her name, that played the girl that was in love with him, but she's hitting on him and he has no clue.
Yeah.
Like, he's just clueless to all sexual advances, right? He doesn't know how to do anything. Blank slate. So super intelligent guy, thoughtful, understanding, caring, pacifist, no hate, only love, no misconceptions or preconceptions about anybody's gender identification or how they want to live their lives or sexual orientation or anything. So you could just take that as a pure person, and he could then teach.
It's Kelly Preston. Sorry,
Kelly Preston.
Yes.
Yeah. No, he was a very pure person.
Right.
I remember
so
that.
that's just the way I looked at it. He was basically the secluded, kind of perfect being. So if you have to take that, obviously Danny DeVito's character is going to be nowhere near the classroom.
Yeah.
He kind of gets it at the end, though. He redeems himself.
He comes
at the end.
around.
He comes in with like snacks or something, right?
Yeah.
He
Can I
comes
say
in
this?
with like juice and orange.
I just want to say about this movie, I honestly really do like Twins. It's a great movie, and I like how it brings up the idea of, is it genetics or is it the way you're brought up or your environment?
Nature
You know what I
versus
mean?
nurture.
Yeah,
Nature
nature
versus nurture.
Yeah.
Because he had all the advantages in the world to succeed.
Totally.
While Danny DeVito had nothing.
Yep.
Like, he came from nothing, and that's how he turned out. His character. But if the roles were reversed and Danny DeVito had all the things, what would happen in that case? You know what I mean?
And somebody can start out with everything, and another person can start out with basically nothing, and you both end up at the same spot in the end. Right?
Exactly. And they do kind of both end up at the same spot.
They
at the
kind of
end,
meet
right?
in the middle at some
Yeah.
point, right? He learns the world from Vincent, and then Vincent learns all the
Morality and all
morality
yeah.
from Julius.
Yeah.
There is something definitely great to say about the fact that he comes in clean, literally, like
Pure. Pure is the word.
Pure as the driven snow.
Yeah.
And there's also something to be said about the fact that sluts do make some of the best lovers. I've heard that said in the past.
The views of Micheal Petrow do not necessarily.
No.
I do not want my daughter learning sex ed from a slut.
What I mean by that is, I don't mean the term slut in any good or bad way, but the idea is that an active sex life on some level, not like a dirty level, or not like a, like as soon as he's 35, he's just, one a night. But
well,
like,
you want someone who's experienced.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of
actual
getting
sex
at, right?
in order to like, if, for example, if I'm doing a talk on brain surgery and I have no background on, or no medical background at all on brain surgery, like why would I be giving that talk?
But if you've read every book on brain surgery, you might be better qualified to talk on it. You might not be qualified to do it.
I'm gonna tell
you
you
might be
right
qualified
now,
to teach it.
I found my dad's copy of The Joy of Sex. It still didn't make sense after having a blueprint. And I read the fuck out of that book. Like, you need like a couple fumblings, right? Because you need the aspect of, okay, this is what you do.
Well, he does have sex in the movie.
Yeah, eventually.
Like we're talking about the Julius.
Right? They have at the end. They both have twins.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
who saw that coming?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I'm just saying, like his lack of experience creates a lack of confidence, which then creates
Julius
an
is
inability.
not lacking any confidence
Julius-
whatsoever.
yes.
He
No.
has the
Julius.
inability to be not confident.
Yeah, I know.
He
he's
has no
not-
ego.
He's
He
not
has no
human.
ego.
No.
Yeah. And you think he would, right? With all of that upbringing,
with
like-
with the body that he has, and the knowledge, and just he would have that. But like I said, he was kind of raised on a deserted island, or Mark said,
Yeah.
raised on a deserted island. He doesn't have any ego, doesn't know our customs and our society, and yeah, he is basically a blank slate. And
Right? So he can go in there and teach things without any of your own bias
Yep.
being applied to it.
No agenda is
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
the,
I agree.
the bare bones of it, so to
Yeah.
speak.
The simplicity of attraction between two people or three people or however many people you want. I don't know what they teach in sex ed.
Yeah.
I don't want to paint myself into a corner here on the air. But whatever happens between 6 or 7 consenting adults is perfectly fine.
Or teenagers
I
in a
would-
well. Teenagers in a well.
I would just like to reference the fact that when I say sluts, I apply that term to everybody on the planet. I don't. That's not a male or female term.
You got to be careful here, Mike.
Yeah,
You don't want to get
Just
you
hang on.
don't want to get hashtagged.
I've called myself a slut. I just want to know that that's a blanket term. That it's just Anyways,
Anyway, so that's
Yeah.
the place I came from. I took him as that very intelligent, very charismatic still, because he can get his point across. He's not shy.
And
I would
morally-
listen.
So he's
to
not
him.
going to
Yeah.
shy away from talking about the sensitive topics where in movies you see a lot of sex ed teachers being like, oh, I don't want to talk about venereal diseases.
We'll
like,
talk about another one,
yeah.
like Kindergarten Cop. Remember when he goes, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina? That character's like, what do I do to
Exactly.
this?
And he's
froze.
freezing like, I can't deal with this.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, he
And,
can't do
and
it.
Julius would be like, and yes, he does. And then she has these fallopian tubes and this blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and
he'll
this is
explain
how
it
the baby was produced.
in a
and,
very
you know.
scientific way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sort of like your point of view, except he let his own personal feelings about what he was trying to do sneak into what he was doing. So
Oh boy.
Both have their ups and downs, and I agree
You're
with
true.
Mike's point that the lack of sexual experience, but I mean he does
I
have.
don't want a sexually experienced
No,
man
not-
teaching my 17-year-old daughter anything about sex.
But no,
I'm sorry.
not a sexually, but you want.
When you put it like that,
Can I just say? I'll just say this.
Can I ask you about your sexual experience, Mr. Stevens?
I'll say this. Like I went to like Catholic school in the 80s, and when they taught us some sort of sex ed, like I learned it from nuns and priests who never had any type of
and
sexual.
that's the way it was meant to be learned.
And that was for me. I thought that was terrible because I got bad information and it really affected me.
But they
as an
have an
adult.
agenda.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They do have an agenda, but like it's just you want someone with some sort like who's done it to tell you like this is why this is this and.
And on a funny side note, I took health. It wasn't even called sex ed when I took it, right?
I took health too.
I took health as part of gym and health. So my gym teacher taught the health class, and my gym teacher was basically Arnold Schwarzenegger.
that was mine too.
His name was Mr. Workington, and he wore like the 70s like short cropped shorts with the tube socks with the stripes and like the little
Gym teacher from Dazed and Confused.
yeah, and he had like the big pipes, and he'd like point to the board and go to the washroom over here. What are you doing? And he had these giant calves, like he was just ripped. And I didn't realize at the time. I didn't, but basically, I learned from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's,
And you turned out okay.
yeah, it turned out fine.
I don't remember what he taught us, but I just remember he was hilarious. He was this big, burly gym teacher.
It's like if you knew at some point in your life that you eventually, like if you were trying to be a gym teacher, like that was the default teacher who got that job. I had a band teacher teach me health actually at my school. Like that was weird. Like I'd come in and she'd be like, "All right, everybody, bring out your music," and then like the next period would be health and family life or whatever. And then she's like, all right, so this is what an STD looks like. And I'm like, I want to go back to playing the B sharp. Like that's a lot. I'm having more fun with
I'm
that.
just thinking about American Pie and the flutes, and if you're doing a band, is like that transition.
Yeah.
I think when I was in school in this would have been 80s, he looked like he was like out of the 60s. Like if you picked a gym teacher from the 60s, he didn't, but that style, for sure.
Like he could have got.
He could have easily had a mustache.
Yeah.
But just like the tight shirts and the shorts.
I imagine ravishing Rick Rude when you're talking about your gym teacher. That's what I imagine.
Sort of like that. Yeah. He was a character. I tell you. I wish I had a picture of him to show.
Well,
anyways.
Let's turn this up a notch, shall we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The part where you've been waiting
Here
for.
Here we go.
So
once again, Mike, we like to take this moment let our listeners know that the views going to be expressed by Mike Petrow do not necessarily reflect the views of the Real Debaters, Mark Navarro or Mark Cowell.
The Real Debaters, Inc.
Continue.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
tread lightly, Mike.
Well, no. So I as I went down the list, I realized that I eventually was left with Conan, like Conan the Barbarian.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good.
Does it always smell like this? How does the wind ever get in here?
Why aren't they trying to kill us?
Maybe they want to capture us, then torture us to death.
A pittance to protect you from evil.
I am evil.
You're all sluts.
Was pretty much the only one that had, in my idea, like enough like hilarity to kind of set up, as well as actually having watched it last night. Because in my head, I was like, "Oh, this grotesque barbarian who's."
Are you just doing Barbarian or both Barbarian and Destroyer?
Because Barbarian, okay. Just Barbarian. Yeah, I didn't. I was watching it and writing it at the same time, and as soon as I was done writing it and I had enough material, I was like, "Okay, fuck it, I'm done this. Like, I can't watch the rest of this shit." Like James Earl Jones just looking menacing, like not even saying anything, like. Tulsa Doom, it's a great name, and then he's got this like long, flowing black head of hair that's just creepy as shit.
What does this have to do with sex head, Mike?
Okay, so I looked at it as there are 3 different points in Conan the Barbarian where he has sex. And when you're dealing with a barbarian, you're dealing with somebody who's grown up in a like he was as he got older in that
he was
camp,
a slave.
He was a slave, but he was given access to poetry and math and education, and he could read older scrolls and stuff, but still operating on a very basic operating system like Windows 98. All right. So I looked at it. I was like, you can't teach this guy about current times, right? But you can teach about the basics in a very intimate and interactive sort of way.
So that's what I mean. Like you picked a character who's, who's
vulgar, but
you picked a character who like maybe was around in like, I don't know, the Mongol days. The
definitely Mongol,
the Kublai Khan days.
Yeah. So
and that's like that's a very archaic system.
It is a very archaic system, but obviously we're taking from the movie, so we're taking from the characters, so we're taking from the scenes. And
so is he teaching kids back then, or is he teaching kids like now? Because we never really specified.
We didn't, and I just always assumed that if you were to take it and apply it to nowadays, like how could you get away with it, right? Like what would you pull from the character that you could actually get away with? So I thought live sex show is what I thought.
My God.
But hang on. Let me get through this.
Both Mark and I just rolled our eyes.
He wasn't very vocal, so you might as well show instead of tell.
He's more of a doer. He's not much of a talker.
But that's what I'm getting at, right? So not live sex show like in Mexico or like some seedy back alley where you're watching 2 people fuck. Like what you're watching is more of a demonstrative live video, so to speak, than you
demonstrative.
Demonstrative. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So like it takes place in the snake pit where the sacrifice happens. that's where I felt that the best place for it to go down.
God.
What parents are going to sign that consent
We are going
form?
down the Ghostbusters restaurant road here. All right, so we walk into the Sarlacc pit. And then
the pit of doom.
Sorry, go ahead.
So it's been converted to a more pleasant environment as opposed to just making women strip and throwing them off into a pit with a snake.
They were sacrificing people.
They were sacrificing. They were sacrificing. They were sacrificing people to the serpent god, the 2-headed snake. And this is fresh. Like I don't want this much Conan in my head right now. So anyway, so that's the place where
We're going to learn about the one-eyed snake, right?
well, how to use the one.
I think it's about to. Yeah.
Yeah. So, first portion for birthing for babies and how pregnancy happens, you would watch a live birth. You would watch how a Mongol woman gave birth at that time, because they clearly did, right? It wasn't the most hygienic. It wasn't the most.
Well, nothing back then.
Nothing back then was
compared to modern medicine.
But what better way than to go into a birthing tent with Arnold and the 3 crazy women, which I will get to shortly, or not all crazy, but 3 women. And so you watch a Mongol birth, and Arnold like the birth of the baby, very, very, very basic linear conversation. And then you move back into the snake pit, and at 3 different times in the movie, 3 different sexual occasions happen. The first one is where he's given a slave to have sex with publicly. That's a big no-no. That's where you teach that permission needs to be granted. Okay, that you don't do
Consent.
this. This is what? Sorry, consent. Exactly right. You don't have sex with a woman publicly in a cage and have like 5 or 6 of your slave guards watching you. You don't do that, right? The next sex scene is with the witch that he comes across as he's traveling across to find the people who killed his parents. She invites him in. She's fucking batshit local crazy, right? She turns into that flying spark that bounces around the room after, goes crazy, grows horns. That's why you don't have one-night stands. That's why you don't walk around and stick your dick into anybody, okay? This is what happens. People grow horns. They turn into different people. It's a scary environment. They turn into a magic flame. They flicker out of the room, and then they're gone, and then you're left going, what the fuck? Then the last sex scene, okay, is with Valeria, the thief that he meets along the way. You got the archer and the thief, and they fall in love, and they have a very romantic kind of sex. And this is where the whole sex show takes place, to show how it actually happens, where the P and the V go, and not in like a dirty humping oily sex way, but in a loving, caring way, because this is the kind of sex you should be having with someone you care about. So you go through the arc of what is bad, really crazy, and acceptable sex in a way that I mean, yes, you're watching fucking, and yes, the kid's probably 12 years old.
I don't see any parents signing off on this field trip that you're taking them to, the pit of doom.
How does he teach about same-sex relationships?
Well, and I think he'd be fine with it, because Mongols would stick it in anything. So I don't think he's going to be too uppity about, Mongol versus Mongol.
He's not really he's a hype. Well, I guess it's not even. Let me just say that Conan isn't a real world. Like, he comes from Hyboria. I think it's Hyboria, like the land. It's a fantasy world. It's not real, but I mean, it was a very just
like I imagine.
And how many genders are in Hyboria?
Like not
many.
to really.
Not
83 genders.
The Greeks and the Romans were fine with same-sex in relationships.
Wow,
so
we know the Greeks were.
Well, yeah, but like I'm of the mind that he wouldn't be hard to be like, it's okay for a man and a man to have same-sex relationships, Conan, and he'd be like, crumb. Right, and I did have a list here of some funny things that I did want to mention.
I keep picturing Clan of the Cave Bear whenever you talk about the.
Yeah. There'd be a theory portion too, like where both Valeria and Conan would stand there, and then you would point out like, this is the penis, this is the vagina, this is how you keep it clean. Like, it would be a very like barbaric class, but nonetheless, it would be educational in regards to like, here's the man's penis, and here's the woman's breasts, and this is where the fallopian tubes would be, because they're okay with it, right? It's a barbaric time. So
do you cut up a person open to see their
No,
clothes?
you don't cut a person open.
They probably would, actually.
Yeah. I mean, that's the unedited version of Conan.
They are barbarians.
Yeah. At the end, the class would recite a slogan together, which they would go, "What is best in life?" And then the slogan would be to always have consensual sex, never forget to be safe, and to always let the girl crumb first.
I just can't see any. Mark. I'm gonna say this, like the way we picked it. Like, I can't send my kid there. I can't send my kid to whatever school that is.
I don't want to go there.
Hey, hang on. I am not saying that it's ethical, and I am just standing behind an argument where I had to defend.
Now, if in his world he is teaching the youth of that world and at that time,
yes,
okay,
yeah, that seems
I
like
could see that is the way that.
But
the show not tell is sort of the.
Yeah,
I feel that today's society makes sure that it's delivered in the best, nicest, calmest, cutest way. And when you talk about having an opinion formed before or not having an opinion formed before, I feel that a very bare bones, so to speak, like no holds barred, no apologies version gets right down to it, where if you get those opinions involved, then you start to teach one side of an argument or another, where it's like, this is what you don't do, this is what you shouldn't do, and this is what you should do, right?
Yes.
No ifs, ands, or, well, some buts probably, but you know what I'm saying. So feel free to chew my live sex show to shred.
I'll say this. What I did like about it is you took me. I didn't expect you to take his sexual relationships as like, this is what this represents. This is what this represents, and that's what that represents. I thought that was a cool aspect. But
that was the whole basis of what I was going on. Like as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, that's where my argument is.
Yeah, that. But then I can't
did
get
this.
past.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Fucking ones and twos, buddy.
Like he does have, like, you know what I mean. He transfers that knowledge, but I mean, I just can't get past the live sex show. I can't imagine sending any child.
I can't hear those words without picturing them in like flashing lights. Neon lights. Live sex show. Live sex show.
Blink, blink, blink. So yeah, Mark, you wanna follow up on it?
I don't. You know what? It's in a different world, right? It's for that scenario. I think he's probably pretty good at it.
Yeah, like you're not for, like, you can't. He's obviously not. You can't educate him to the point where you guys, like with twins and junior, like, I don't have a doctor and I don't have. You can't
give him a curriculum
specimen.
to teach in today's schools.
And like to put the condom on and off, it would be taking the sheath off the sword and putting the sheath back on and being like, "This is what you do."
There's no condoms. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Sheepskin.
You have to use the whole animal, Mark.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, now that we're at the end here, let's pull out our phones and figure out where this is going.
None of them are good choices.
No,
all terrible
this
choices.
This is like best of the worst Batman. That's exactly what this is. All right. Notes. All right.
Oh boy.
New note.
Arnold
fucking Schwarzenegger teaching live sex.
Freaking Schwarzenegger.
All right.
I'm not done yet.
Jesus. I wish Mr. Freeze was here. That would have been great, hey? Like,
well, Chris was gonna come up with a bunch of Mr. Freeze like puns.
Oh,
that's what his character was in the Batman. It just pun after pun after pun.
Yeah, I think that would have been quite entertaining.
All right.
I'm done.
Oh. All right. On count 3. 1, 2, 3.
I went Mark.
I went Martin.
Mike.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It actually did happen.
Three-way tie.
Three-way tie.
The three-way tie.
Oh.
You sold me on the live sex show.
Fuck yes. I knew I'd get one person because, I mean, as unethical as it is, like you do not let children of that age watch people fuck. Like that's
well, with the caveat that he, in today's day and age, he could not teach sex ed at a school, but he could teach it to other young people like him in his world.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where I got the whole idea from was, okay, who out of all of these, who would be the best to teach young barbarians the way of the man? Mm-hmm. Conan, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, so we need to call Shauna out here.
We need to call Shauna
and settle this.
Settle this like real men.
All right, well, you give me a
Ask a woman.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Can you tell us who wins? Because we don't know.
I can't make a decision, honey.
Ah, boy, eh?
Yeah, we have a three-way tie.
What was that?
We have a three-way tie.
We have a three-way.
Yeah, we have it.
That's funny.
Oh boy, Shauna, you're getting.
So what are we just giving her? Just giving her the title and the name of the character?
Yes, that's all we're giving her, and you can say your answer into the. You do well, yeah. You do well, yeah. She knows the basis of the argument, and for anybody who's tuning in for the first time, Shauna is my lovely girlfriend and partner, and she decides
everything.
She decides things for me.
Yeah, she makes all the decisions, including what happens when we have a three-way tie in the show. Okay, so you know the premise, which is if Arnold Schwarzenegger...
Sex education teacher?
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger teaches us sex
Put the
ed.
mic closer between you two.
Yeah, okay.
So that we can hear you both.
Come down here. Yeah, we kiss, so you can be this close. And so Martin picked Junior.
Alex Hess, Dr. Alex Hess.
Dr. Alex Hess.
Yep.
Mark picked
Julius Benedict from Twins, the perfect human specimen.
and I picked Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien.
Oh.
You know, I've been thinking about that all night, waiting for that to come out, and I'm glad it came out at the end.
Andy Rick, if Andy Rick is involved, my vote's going back to you.
Yeah. Mike, you win with Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
And Conan the Barbarian. So out of all of those, without knowing any of our arguments, which one do you pick for the winner? And
all right. I could give a little argument for each. So you said Junior,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he's a scientist.
Doctor.
Are you sure? Is he not a
He's a
scientist?
doctor. He's a doctor.
Okay, because there's something about him making himself pregnant.
Yep.
And that just seems really backwards. So I didn't get it. And then you did Twins.
Yes.
I feel like I remember he's like a naive rich boy. So
He's not rich.
no, but does he come from like rich background?
Well, no,
and
a bunch
he
of
wants to find his brother.
No, because it's a bunch of scientists that create them.
He's
and
well
they
off.
actually they split, so they're actually twins from a science experiment to make the perfect
Right.
human.
Yes. Okay.
So and then he's raised on an island by the professor that
A tropical
took
island.
him.
Oh, okay. But then he's like, okay, unleashed into the big city. And
Yes.
Yeah.
He's very naive.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I feel like then he's naive, and I'm definitely down with Conan the Barbarian. He's a big dirty man, and he's lived life, and I feel like that's the kind of sex ed I
Live
wanna know,
live
so.
sex show wins.
Live sex show wins.
There you go. Goodbye.
thank you, Panda. So there you have it, everybody. I did not pay for that win. She did not know my story. I know that's easily assumed, but
If there's a tie, you vote for me, right?
Yeah.
No, that was good. That was good. I get her argument though. Like
That-
a dude with more experience.
yeah, and I'm sure, and
I voted for you, so
I appreciate that.
I just couldn't get past the live sex show. I was like, I can't. Like I said, if it's in yours, yes. But like, I mean, I was thinking about it. Like, you know, I wouldn't send my kids there.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't send if I had
Yeah.
kids. I wouldn't send them there either. Like I'm not a barbarian. But like I just thought if this is what I have to work with, then I'm going to work with the big broad sword and Arnold.
who's your daddy and what does he do?
Oh boy! All right. Well,
boy.
on that note, let's wrap it up. Martin, do you have any shows?
Wrap it up.
That's our sex education for the day.
Wrap it up.
On
That's
that
our only
note, wrap
advice.
it up.
Wrap it up. There are some diseases going around across Canada. There's some outbreaks.
Yeah. If you've learned
Stay
anything
safe.
on this episode, wrap it up.
There were pregnancies running rampant.
No. Do you have any shows this week that you?
I don't think I have anything
No?
booked. No, not till. But just We Johnny's and Hands and Daughter Wednesday, Thursday.
All right, cool. Well, I would like to let everybody know. I know if you've seen it on the Instagrams, we are going to be throwing in some extra shows called. Martin came up with the names called Real Talk. Just going to be some really cool conversations, doing some best ofs, doing some top 10s, diving deep into what we like to talk about film, minus the debate. The debate won't be on the show, so just be
No,
like
Less fighting, more
Yeah.
conversing.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And we can agree on things.
We we all do get along in real life, everybody. This isn't just.
And I think too, like some episodes will have experts in some fields.
Yeah, we've got
Right.
the one we're going to be doing for October is my buddy BJ Verreau, who owns his own production company in Winnipeg called Strata Studios, and he's going to come on the show and talk about doing stunt work in movies with me and
super
Martin.
cool.
Yeah, and like
Super cool.
where he learned it and stuff like that. We're recording that next week. And so we'll drop these. We'll let you know when they're coming, but we'll try to do them once. We'll try to be doing an episode once a week as much as we can.
They're like the bonus episodes.
Yeah,
that we get.
exactly.
Just
They're
a different. You have to switch things up from our normal stuff.
100%. We want to talk to each other and know more about each other and what we like and what we don't like. And even though some of us have known each other for over 10 years, you learn something new
Just
every day.
keep it real.
Keep that talk, that real talk.
Real talk. All right, Mark. We don't have any shows. We just have this show.
That's it.
Manitoba Podcast Fest.
Yeah, no, I was just
Oh.
gonna get to that. Yeah. So
The MBPF.
MBPF, yeah, the September 29th at the Park Theater. We are going to be there for the Manitoba Podcast Festival. This is its second year. I believe it's happening. I think that's International Podcast Day weekend, or at least close to the day as possible. So it's 4 hours. There'll be panels. There'll be people talking about different Winnipeg podcasts. We'll be there doing live debates. So if you see us, and there's going to be a list of old debates that we've done and new debates that we can do with you. And if you want to sit down and talk with us and shoot the shit and call us out for crap, please feel free to do so. We're very friendly. This is all for show.
We're going to get as many people there as possible.
Yep.
And just all be mass debating.
Yeah. You've been waiting to say that since I opened my mouth.
Which is a perfectly normal and natural
The name of your
thing.
sex tape.
Yes. Yeah. No. If
Everyone masturbates.
We're going to see how many people we can have masturbating at the same time.
we're going to break a record.
Is this going to take place in a well?
So if you want to check that out, like I said, September 29th at the Park Theater in Winnipeg, Manitoba from 12 to 4 p.m.
Come down, meet us.
Come down. Yeah, meet us. Say hi. We're drawn for a couple Funko Pops. So if you want to add a Funko Pop to your collection.
A Funko Pop of Micheal Petrow.
No, you don't want a Funko Pop of that. We got a new one. I got Shauna Ariel over there.
Look at that.
Yeah. So now we've got Bob Ross.
Where's Sebastian?
Sebastian wasn't there. Scuttle was there, though, and Prince Eric was there. But
Who's Scuttle?
Scuttle is the bird.
Oh,
Dinglehopper.
yeah. I remember that.
We still got to do that episode with Shauna with the Disney thing.
I would love to do a Disney episode.
Yeah. You know what? We'll do it after Disney Plus launches
Yeah.
so that we can get really caught up.
Oh,
Right?
we could talk a whole episode about Disney Plus.
Yeah, let's, you know what, before we go, like what, everybody getting it? Yeah.
It's going to be just
Insane.
It's insane. Amazing.
There's
going to be so much stuff. It might start off slow, but I'm going to want to watch everything they probably put on it.
Oh my God. And there's things that you've always wanted to watch, or like a show on the Disney Channel when you were kids.
Yeah.
That's coming back.
Man, they're going to have all the DuckTales, the original DuckTales.
DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles, and Gummy Bears.
Oh, I loved Gargoyles.
Right?
Gargoyles was so good, man.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
Like, it's just, and it's such a clean looking platform. Like Netflix, as much as I'm loyal, I will stay. I'm trying to really push to streaming only, no cable. It's $91 a month in Canada. It's incredibly cheap. I can get my news online. I can get my news online. I don't need to watch it. I don't, it's, you can see all the clips. You can live stream your news now from CKND, CBC, CKY, whatever.
I think that's the reason that I don't consume as many movies and TV shows as you guys. As I watch the news and sporting events.
Yeah.
And reality TV.
That I definitely do not watch. I do not watch any reality
dude,
TV.
I watch. Chrissy's a big reality TV. Real Housewives.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you.
We do Survivor.
Yeah.
We do Master Chef. We do Top Chef.
Yes, Master Chef, Top Chef.
We do Iron Chef.
Lots of chefing.
Lots of chefing.
There's a new season of Chef Show.
I saw it.
Show.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep. Anything with food and hospitality in it, we will watch and we will give it a shot.
Oh man, he cooks. He gives you the recipe for that pasta that he cooks in the movie Chef.
Oh,
for Scarlett Johansson, he gives you that recipe.
Oh yeah, when she comes over for the little.
It's good. It's simple. It's good. It looks cool. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, if you guys want to email us an idea for the show, we're always available to listen, and we'll do it. Fuck, who cares? So if you can come up with a debate, send it to thereeldebaters@gmail.com. You can follow us online on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook under @thereeldebaters. It's Real Debaters for anything. Real Debaters podcast for Instagram.
You'll find us.
You'll find us. Just search at the Real Debaters.
Kind of like the mattress guy.
Yeah, you'll find us. You know what? I knew someone who dated that guy's daughter, and
the Kernhill guy.
This is the Sleep Country guy.
No, is it Sleep Country? No, it's the other one.
Sleep Country Canada.
No, not that one.
Why buy a mattress anywhere?
That's
else?
Sleep Country.
That's Sleep Country.
The other one was You'll Find.
Yeah,
best sleep center.
Best sleep center. So he was dating his daughter, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if, like, when they hook up for the first time and he's like trying to find her spot and she's like, "You found it." Like, does that go from father to daughter? Yeah, no. All right, that's a really bad way to walk out of a room.
That is.
That just brought down the
based on your topic tonight, it's very fitting.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode. I'm Micheal Petrow.
Mark Navarro.
Mark Cowell.
And we missed you, Christopher. See you next time, guys.